Something like this. Hit it.
The Roger Report live morning show, weekdays at 9 a.m.
Say y'all, I was on Roger's channel a few times and I couldn't take it. The heat. I got out the kitchen. It was hot. I was sweating. I had to get out.
He's Roger, and he's right.
Check this out.
We can live or die. You choose. I have spoken to you a lot of times in hatred and anger, and you have not heard me. Well, you had better hear me today. If you won't listen to me when I make an appeal for the Negroes because you have no concern for the Negroes, listen to me when I make an appeal for America. You claim you love America. Well, we love America. But you are driving us back and you are making a Samson out of us, and we are going to pull down the pillar. And then you think we have no right to ask for something? Is it too much to ask you to grant us human dignity? Should we be put down and shot to death for this request? If so, you can aim your guns. What the hell do you think we care about dying if you're going to deny us the right to live?
And folks, and welcome to another edition of the Roger Report Live, the best show on social media. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and take a moment out to hit that like button, because this is where you're going to find the best content on social media, and you don't have to worry about it because you're going to have me right here to make sure that happens. And if you've already been coming to the channel for a while, then go ahead and hit that like button, because you already know what time it is. And you know that this is where you're going to get the best content on social media. It's not a mystery to you at this point. You've seen other people do it. You've even seen some people do it well. But what you have not seen is anyone who do it quite the way I do it. So make sure you hit that like button. And everyone, yes, everyone, take a moment out to share the content, y'all. There are so many people who need to get great content like this. And it's just a small thing you can do to help the world be a better place. And isn't that what we want at the end of the day? Of course we do. So share the content now. Share it through your social media. Share it through word of mouth, or even text someone's phone. But do what you got to do to help spread the word. All right, folks, we are back for another incredible episode of the Roger Report Live, because that's the only kind of episode we really have. And today we are going to be looking at, well, today's show title. Very interesting one. Happy Father's Day, you son of a. And I'm going to let your mind fill the word in at that particular point. We're going to let you fill that word in. Happy Father's Day, you son of a. All right. And y'all, we're going to get into this real shortly. Before we get started too far, though, I want to give shout outs to all my people who come through and, give me views on a regular basis that make up the fam around here. I appreciate y'all big time. Also, shout out to all the people who come through and, you leave comments after the stream. Y'all are helping with the algorithm, and that's very much appreciated. Real talk, very much appreciated. Shout out to all the people who hype me up every chance they get. I know everybody ain't going to be able to do it all the time. I get that. But I like the fact that people come through and do that. You help me out a great deal, and much respect to each and every one of y'all that do it. much respect to each and every one of y'all that do it. I appreciate it big time. And shout out to the people who hit that like button. Y'all know when it comes down to it, that like button is key. Okay, that like button is key, and I appreciate everybody who take the time out to hit that like button. It is very much appreciated. Keep on keeping on, as they say. Keep on keeping on. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's so appreciated. Okay, and I want to say shout out to the people who go above and beyond the call of duty. There are people who come through and support the channel financially. And y'all are a big deal at the end of the day. Y'all are a big deal. You can't necessarily depend on folks giving you support, but I got somebody who give me some support every day. And I don't want y'all to think I take that for granted. So shout out to all the people who come and support me on a regular. But I'm also saying shout out to the one, the only, Shaka Nulu, for being the sponsor of today's stream. Appreciate you big time, my brother. Appreciate you big time. And you know what? Shaka Nulu was the first person to ever send me any type of financial support. So he's always going to be remembered here. Always going to be seen as one of the greatest. You know what I'm saying? Always going to be appreciated. Shout out to Shaka Nulu for being the first to ever send something to the Roger Report Live. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. And that's real talk. All right, y'all. And shout out to the people who are right here rocking with me now. And it's always great to see that when you start a show, you got somebody with you. I try to do a little something so everybody can get a chance to get in a very covenant spot. I'm going to say shout out to what we like to call around here, the Highlander of today's stream. My main man, I'm listening, is in the building. He is the Highlander of today's stream. Shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to you. Glad to see you in the building, my brother. Glad to see you in the building. Hey, you done it again, brother. You done it. It's been a little while, but you done it again. Shout out to you. Shout out to Ken seeing Red coming through the cool table right after him. Glad to see you. Glad to see you. No surprise, but Trail Bentley is next. Shout out to, this guy, he great. Now, he be getting them Highlanders, y'all. He be getting them Highlanders. So shout out to him. I almost got it again. Shout out to him. Hashtag, well, as he represents, and I appreciate him for it. Hashtag long live habitual line steppers. Hashtag Negroes in the wilderness. Hashtag dignity over vagina. Hashtag Al Gore's babies. Hashtag Hail Hydra. Shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to you. Glad to see you here. Inspired Truth Broadcast is also at the cool table this morning. Great to see you. Ton of Runner is in the house. Great to have you, brother. Great to have you. Irvin Reed has stepped through the door. What's good, my brother? What's good? Great to see you as well. And Emerald Edge is in the building. Shout out to you. And Jerome Payne is at the cool table this morning. We doing all right, y'all. We doing all right. And we gonna get into this. And I gotta say, shout out. You guys make me feel special sometimes. Y'all make me, you make me feel special all the time. And I appreciate all y'all. Real talk. And I got to give a shout out to my main man, the one, the only, there I said it, has already come through on the day with the first Cash App. He says best show on social media. Shout out to There I Said It. Drop $5 on it. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you big time for that. Okay. He been rocking with me for a good long while. Appreciate you, brother. And y'all who've been rocking with me from channel to channel. Shout out to each and every one of y'all. Y'all definitely make me feel great around here with the things I got to do to make this stuff happen. Shout out to Turkish Tyrone coming in the building. Good to see you, brother. Good to see y'all. Y'all, happy Father's Day, you son of a... Now, see, your mind is going to take you to a certain place, y'all. Your mind going to take you to a certain place. And we're going to see what it do. Now, I'm going to say shout out to Passport OG. I put a couple links in the description, both from Passport OG. Look, y'all. I noticed that the Knicks done won a championship. All right. Shout out to the Knicks for winning a championships. One of the greatest rivalries in sports that I understood, or you can even say felt or thought, whatever. When I was a youngster, man, as a Bulls fan, we was into it with the Knicks, y'all. We was into it with the Knicks. Okay, I still got residual from when we was into it with the Knicks. That was one heck of a rivalry, y'all. I got residual thoughts and quote unquote feelings for what was going on with the Knicks. And I respected the Knicks. I have a great deal of respect for the Knicks, man. Have a great deal of respect for the Knicks. You know, I almost wanted them to win when they went up against the Houston Rockets. You know, y'all remember when the Knicks was like the AFC, first time the AFC ever made it to the finals. Shout out to the Knicks for that was a heck of an accomplishment. Didn't quite win, but shout out to the Knicks for, you know, getting such a big deal done. Shout out to them for that. And y'all, the Knicks finally done did it, y'all. They finally done did it. Now, they ain't won a championship since like 78, okay? It's a long time ago, okay? Long time. It was in the 70s, y'all. It was in the 70s. So I have no memory of that championship whatsoever. I've seen some clips, but of course, I have no memory of that championship whatsoever. But the Knicks done did it. Yeah, I do feel a little bit better about a guy from Chicagoland area. I'll say that. Chicagoland area. You know, really from a suburb of Chicago. Okay, from a suburb of Chicago. A kid grew up. His daddy was in the NBA, y'all. I remember his daddy being in the NBA. I remember playing video games, and I played with his daddy. Had to defend against his daddy. Shout out to Rick Bronson, okay, as he was known by in his NBA days, who's also a coach now. Okay, so ain't this about nothing? It happened to turn out that Rick Bronson was coaching. Now, I don't follow the NBA like I used to. Okay, look too busy. Things have changed. It's just not my priority where it used to be when I could really enjoy it like I wanted to when I was younger. Nothing against the NBA. I just be busier in the middle of the day. And, you know, they play when I'm busier. That's all it is. So I don't really make that attempt to keep up with sports like that. Okay, I follow what I can follow as I'm moving along, getting things done. But it ain't like what it used to be when I was younger. Had more time on my hands, could really engage the way I wanted to. But I'm going to say shout out to the Knicks for winning their championship. That's a heck of a Father's Day gift. Okay, that's a heck of a Father's Day gift. And Rick Bronson said his birthday was the day after they won that championship. So now, dig this here. They working for the same organization. See, I didn't even know that. I recently found that out. They sitting there working for the same organization. So you mean to tell me they're going to get rings on the same day? Okay. You mean to tell me they're going to get rings on the same day? Shout out to Trail Billy, man. I'm not trying to go there, Trail. I'm not trying to go. He said the NBA sucks now. I was not trying to go there. Look, they done changed how they do some things. They done changed some rules up. Okay. It is what it is. I'm trying to still be supportive of the sport. You know, I'll watch something here or there. I don't watch full games anymore. Now it was more like highlights, checking out the commentary. You know, I check out some stats here and there. I don't do it the way I used to, but I ain't gonna do it like Trey Billy and just say that the NBA sucks now. Shout out to that organization, man. That organization has helped a lot of black folks out. Okay, so let me just let's give everybody a reminder. That organization, you know, a lot of black men helped make that organization what it is. Okay, I mean they was doing their own thing when it was all white. They did their thing when it was white, but when the black guys started showing up, it got way better. You know, let's just keep that real. It got way better. So, you know, some black men have been blessed by the NBA, and they've been able to be a blessing to some of their families out here. You know, it's a very elite group that gets to be in there, but shout out to the people who made it. All right. Now, Father's Day just came past. All right. I hope you talk to your dad. Okay. If you're one of the people whose dad is no longer with us, shout out to each and every one of y'all. I'm glad you had the relationship that you had for as long as you had it. Okay. My father's still around, so I feel like a very blessed man to be this old and still have my father around, because I can always tap in to my father to give me advice whenever I want something. He always there for me, y'all. Now my father's in retirement, so he chilling. He work when he want to. He do what he want to do. And I'm gonna say, y'all, it's great as a son to see my father don't have to worry about stuff. It's great. It's absolutely great as a son to see my dad ain't got no problems. He do what he want to do. He enjoy himself, and I'm glad that he's enjoying year after year after year retirement, because he done put a lot of work in. Okay, he done made a lot of sacrifices for his family, and y'all, people don't really celebrate this as they should. I'm just gonna say that. Now, I'm a person who's not really in the holidays. Okay, I'm not in the holidays, but for the people who do, I gotta say, yeah, on Father's Day, it's time to do a little bit better, y'all. It's time to do a little bit better. And how can we make fathers great again? Okay, how can we make fathers great again, y'all? I think we gonna have to lead a charge. Okay, I think we're gonna have to lead a charge. It may sound crazy to some, but what's necessary is necessary. So now it's a regular thing that you have women who try to crap on fathers when Father's Day come up. That's a thing now. You have women who want to take credit. Who I'm the mother and the daddy. That's a very dumb thing that women say. Probably dumb women that say it. I don't, what I'm saying? I'm not saying all of them that say it are dumb, but I'm pretty sure it's a good amount of dumb women that actually say something that's stupid. Okay. But it's probably some smarter women who join in with the stupidity. Y'all, stupidity is a choice. Remember that. Stupidity is a choice. So now, year in, year out, when Father's Day come around, people want to be people want credit for what the father did. Just is what it is. Now, the people who still have their father, okay, the people who got dad in place, the people who got dad in the home, okay, I'm gonna say they usually do a much better job. Okay, celebrating their father, and I know dads be getting the socks and the drawers or whatever. Not premier Father's Day gifts. Not the most expensive Father's Day gift. For the masses. Every individual people gonna do individual things, but for the masses, the gifts on Father's Day in comparison to what people get on other days, a lot of people would say it kind of sucks in comparison. Okay, but there's fathers who gonna be thankful anyway. Shout out to the fathers who are thankful. No matter what the kids and the mom come through with, first of all, we all should need to be grateful that we get to, if you're going to celebrate Father's Day, celebrate your father one more year. Okay. It's a good thing to do. All right. When you have a family, don't forget to celebrate your father too. Okay. The focal point should be on you. Yes. But don't you forget to reach out and celebrate your father too. Okay. But the how people look at fathers nowadays just ain't like it used to be. Just ain't quite like it used to be. Now, should it be that way? No, of course it shouldn't be that way. For people who celebrating holidays, why should it be that way? Oh, I forgot to put a clip in, y'all. I forgot to put a clip in. Shout out to Ali Sadiq. He did something. A lot of y'all probably have already seen it. But talking about how Father's Day was like the 20th most celebrated holiday in the world. The 20th most celebrated holiday in the world. And off the top of your head, can you actually think of 19 other holidays? I mean, could you? Off the top of your head, could you really think of 19 other holidays? So the fact that Father's Day was number 20 as he checked that out. Now, I know he said this years ago. Okay. Now, I don't know if it changes any little bit here or there. But even regardless of that, when he found it for Father's Day to be number 20, I was like, bruh, Bruh, all the stuff men do to make things okay, and all they got was number 20. That's all they got. Number 20. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Now, I don't have the weight of fathers on me, y'all. Okay. The most I am is Godfather. Okay. It's a cool position. It's a very cool position because you can talk to the God kids. You can see the God kids when you want. You don't have all the stresses that, you know, a father actually has. Okay. Now, do I get the God kid stuff? Yes, I do. You know, do they call upon me for certain things? Yeah, but I'm not gonna act like it's anything close to being the actual dad. Okay. It ain't quite the same. So I ain't got nothing but respect for fathers, y'all. And I'm gonna say I'm not gonna give this the whole thing about what a lot of us been trained to say now. I know I say Happy Father's Day to a neighbor. You know, he hit me with the yeah for all the good ones. Man, we don't do that on Mother's Day. We don't do that on Mother's Day. What you mean all the good ones? Now I ain't get into it with the brother for what he said. You know, I was handling business. I ain't had no real time to talk. Okay. All right. Uh hold fast, y'all. Hold fast. Shout out to Elder Blood. He said, Roger, will you read my Cash App comment in reference to this chattel slave Father's Day? Chattel slave plantation Father's Day that Black people pretend to celebrate. Hopefully, your panel to speak on it later. Okay, let me see what you got, my brother. Let me see what you got for us. All right. And shout out to you, brother. I appreciate the continued support. You're a great one, brother. You're a great supporter, and I do appreciate it big time. You know, so shout out to there. I said who got one in already, and here comes Elder Blood coming in now. Here it is. He said, "Happy Falters Day, not Father's Day. Fault, y'all. Happy Falters Day. FAULT. Falters Day." Okay, so obviously he's making obviously, yo, he's making a point to say Falters Day. Okay. Shout out to Afro Mercy. He said Roger lives next to the house. Well, you know, when you say neighbor, don't mean they right next door. Neighbor, you know, people in the neighborhood and things like that. But I mean, come on now. What Black man ain't living next to the house? You live in America, man. This American society. What brother ain't living next to the house? Okay. What brother ain't? Okay. What brother ain't? They train everybody to hate us. Okay. They train everybody to hate us. So who ain't living next to the house as a Black man? Who? Who ain't? But Elder Blood, we definitely gonna come back to that comment. Okay, when I get the panel on, you know, we got more people. I'll definitely bring that back up, my brother. I definitely bring that up. Okay, so appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. All right, now, look, y'all. I'm gonna say this, and I can't do everything. Some stuff you need actual dads to get out there and do. Okay. I see the way people looking at Father's Day, right? Are they bogus? Yeah. I'm gonna say that real talk. Okay. I'm gonna say that real talk. They bogus. You celebrate these other holidays, but you don't want to celebrate Father's Day. And as a man, you know, most men ain't really gonna push an issue about y'all need to celebrate me and things like that. I'm not saying it's not really a bad thing. You know, in concept, yeah, you shouldn't have to tell nobody to celebrate you like that. But I'm gonna say just maybe, okay, just maybe, dads need to start doing something a little bit different. Okay, dads may need to start doing a little something different. Maybe y'all gonna have to take the reins up on the holiday to instill that it's supposed to be celebrated, and maybe the first and second or even third time may cost you. Okay. You got a lot of men doing a lot of great stuff. You know, we got Rick Bronson here with the fam. Okay. That's what that is, y'all. That's Rick Bronson with the fam. Okay. You got a kid who's eventually gonna grow up and lead a team to an NBA championship. Right there. But see, this is a family portrait. Okay. This is a family portrait. You got a man, you got a wife, you got the kids. This is the only way you can have a family. Okay, all this some woman with kids, that's not a family, y'all. I don't even know why y'all use the term family when you're talking about some woman and kids. Okay? I don't even get it. But I'm going to say shout out to Rick Bronson. I'm going to say Rick Bronson is an incredible father. See, based on the stuff that I know about Rick Bronson, looking into what has recently gone on, Rick Bronson is an incredible father, y'all. Okay? Rick Bronson is an incredible father. Okay. Now let me celebrate Rick Bronson just a little bit here. Just a little bit here. Now, this is a guy from Chicago. Y'all know Rick Bronson played for the Knicks a couple times, whatever. Well, if you didn't know, now you know. Okay. So I'm not going to even lie and say I really remember Rick Bronson like that as a Knicks player, like what he did. I remember him playing for the Knicks. I do remember like him, Knicks jersey. I get that. Okay. But I don't like remember what he did against the Bulls or nothing like that. So I don't even remember that fact. Now I remember, you know, I used to play in video game tournament. We used to play live. Live 94, not Live 95, Live 96, stuff like that. Then eventually went to 2K, 2K this, 2K that, 2K. I remember Rick Bronson, and sometimes Rick Bronson would cause a brother problem based on, little tournament teams I used to do and all that type of stuff. But let me tell you about Rick Bronson. What we know, this is just plain old obvious. Okay. It's plain old obvious. Okay. Rick Bronson has raised a family. Rick Bronson is a fantastic father. Rick Bronson had his son. He gave his son the capabilities that as a man, he can go out there and do the things that he needs to do. And he surpassed his father, y'all. See, Rick Bronson actually made it into the NBA, which is a hard enough thing to do. Okay. And having an inside track like that, shout out to him and all the brothers who do it. He helped his son get into the NBA. Now we can say what we want to say, but when you're an NBA player, you traveling, you're doing all these different things, you're gonna have more limited time with your children. It's hard enough to have time with your children as a working father, just doing a regular job. But when you an NBA player and you spend time with your son, your daughter, okay, you give that family time in whatever context you get. It's just a little bit harder to do because there are going to be days that you're going to be away. And I'm going to say I'm extremely proud of Rick Bronson because his son has surpassed him. What father don't want his son to surpass him? Okay. He did it, y'all. He did it. He helped his son get into the league. He helped his son stay in the league. And even has led his son, okay, as he led others and got the ring. Now, I don't know if Rick Bronson ever won a championship, but if I'll have to look that up. I don't think he ever won a champ. I don't remember. He wasn't a focal point of a team. He was not a focal point, but I don't remember Rick Bronson ever winning the championship. Okay. But can you imagine, y'all, going to, well, you ain't going to have to imagine for too long. If you care to see it, you're going to be able to tune into an NBA game. We got to wait a little while. We got to wait till next season, but you should be able to tune into an NBA game. And you can actually watch a man get his championship ring and then you can watch his son get a championship ring? Because that's how it normally go. They usually gonna give, the organizational people their rings before they give it to the players. Can you imagine Rick Bronson getting this ring, and then you look a little bit longer, and you will see his son getting the ring, winning the championship ring? Yeah, it turns out that Rick Bronson was coach for the team. Ain't that about nothing, y'all? Ain't that about nothing? He turned out to be, and how hard is it to actually even pair up a son as a coach on the same team as a father? Because we got some stuff out there, but that's not an extremely common thing, that even a man who's good enough to get into the NBA, then later on be a coach, and even have a son good enough to be a coach, you're not gonna really have your son on your team like that. I'm not gonna say that's always been the case. I mean that this is always gonna be the case, because who never knows? Organizations do things, sometimes it's just not gonna be a match. It's not gonna be a fit. So to be on the same team and y'all win the title, man, that's got to be fantastic. Got to be fantastic. So what do we do about Father's Day, y'all? Because we got fathers out here doing incredible things. Yes, there are fathers out here. You are a mason, okay? You go to work, you handle your masonry business, you come home, you raise your kids, okay? You got fathers out here that are farmers. You get out there, you help do the farm, you get the stuff in order. You know what? After you're done, you deal with the kids, okay? You're being a great father, okay? Some of you guys, you're engineers, okay? You go to work, you do your thing, you come home after work, you get to spend some time with your father. But do we get the credit we should as fathers? Well, of course, we're not getting the credit we deserve. And a black father is definitely not about to get the credit he deserves. That's just how the game go, okay? But it does not have to go that way. We can actually do a little something about it, which I'm going to get into in a moment, but I got a guest that just popped up backstage. So before I even go into how we should handle this, before I go into it, okay, I'm gonna let this guest get a word in. But real quick, shout out to Elder Blood again. He said, Roger, I'm gonna cash app you again. I hope you read my above comment and consider them with your panel together, conjointly and in tandem. In truth, excuse me. In truth, I guess he meant we look deep. Black women are the real dirty bastards. Okay. Fire. Elder Blood. Well, Elder Blood, I'm gonna say this because I definitely appreciate your support. I definitely appreciate your support. But I'm gonna say, in the future, as you do these cash apps, why don't you kind of hold on so I can make sure I come back and like put them up once the panel gets up, if you want the panel to discuss it, so I can make sure that we don't throw stuff off track and that we make sure we give it the respect. I want to make sure your comments get the respect they deserve, okay? That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to make sure your comments get the respect they deserve, okay? But I see you cutting deep. you cutting deep. And I just want to make sure, that paid for comments, that we do it like we need to do it. And I just went up to see your above commentary. It looks like that, like that comment came out twice. So there was an above comment that says, ain't no black man on the planet worthy enough to be on the level of Jesus and black women. Make sure to emphasize this. Yet black women demand black men treat them sinless like Holy Mother Teresa and virgins. That's an interesting, that's a heck of a comment to make. So what I'm gonna try to do is, as we get a little time in, maybe at the hour 15-minute mark, depending upon how many people here, we gonna double back to these comments you made, Elder Blood. But shout out to you. But I'm gonna say, if you gonna specifically do a comment that you want, panel members discuss, hold on to it until we got a decent sized panel, because I want to make sure you get your comments get the proper respect they deserve, my brother. But as for now, I'm bringing up my guest, and we're gonna let him have the floor. We gonna give it to his name today, y'all. We gonna give it to sperm donor of Sperm donor of the year. Ain't this about nothing, y'all? We're going to give it to sperm donor of the year. And let's see where he goes with it real quick. And Elder Blood, we definitely going to get back to you, brother. We definitely going to get back to you. Sperm donor of the year, you got it, my brother. What would you like to chime in?
Happy Tuesday to everybody.
Happy Tuesday, brother.
So I see that y'all took time of your day to badmouth all the good mothers in America, huh? How are y'all doing? How are you doing today? Huh? Y'all want to be Father of the Year? But meanwhile, all you did was pay $70 in child support. But you want to be Father of the Year, huh? That's something, huh? While Keisha was out here giving birth, you was rolling dice with Pookie and got shot at while she was in labor. You didn't even bother to take her to the hospital. You were rolling dice. You didn't even rob the belly of Keisha, nothing. You was out here shooting dice, doing drive-by, not being responsible, and you wanna be a father, huh? I would like to give a good I say shout out to all the teachers who gave y'all Dusty's gift of becoming a father. Because y'all Dusties don't deserve. Don't do nothing. All you do is smoke weed, drinking. What's your favorite drink nowadays? Don Julio? Is that what y'all drinking now? Y'all don't drink anything anymore? It's a Don Julio now. Smoking blunt, eating chicken parmesan. And you want people to call you fathers? Huh? When was the last time that you dusty Negroes wrote a letter to your children? When was the last time that your dusty Negroes sat them down and read them bedtime stories? Nah, you'd rather be running them streets. And when you finally die after your worthless life, they found out that you had 7 other families. Is that what you call being a father? Hmm? All you do when you're in the house is eating the big piece of chicken, drink beer, and touch the children, and yell at everybody because you're angry, because you're broke. You're broke and angry. Hmm? Stop me when I'm wrong.
Right now.
Huh? That was being a father? Man, you're not even a good sperm donor. You mess around and your sperm ain't good, the baby retarded. Can't even walk straight.
All right. Now I'm gonna say shout out to you, brother, because obviously you are making a point to carry a sentiment that a lot of sisters have, and we can't act like sisters don't really have that sentiment. So he's representing what the sentiment a lot of sisters have. Okay. Now, unfortunately, a lot of black men have not responded properly to this sentiment as it comes up. Because I'm not gonna argue about sisters who say things like this or anything close to this. I'm not gonna say they're not telling the truth. But what's the only thing I actually do know? When a sister gives me information like this, she's confirmed to me that she's trifling. That's the only thing I know. She's trifling. What kind of woman has a baby with a trifling man? A trifling woman. Okay, so when she's saying stuff like this, I know she really believes she's not going to father, but she's really guaranteeing she's not going to herself. Because first of all, I don't even have to believe what she's saying about the dad. Okay, I don't even necessarily have to believe it, and because women lie so much, I don't really tend to. Okay, I don't really tend to. Not to mention the fact that black men are the best fathers America has to offer. So I don't really even have reason to believe her. Okay. But I do know she's trifling because you wouldn't even make these accusations if you weren't trifling. Okay. That I know. I know that 100% for sure that she trifling. And if the stuff that she say is true, I got to take into account that she did that even though She didn't have to have sex with that guy in the first place. She didn't have to get pregnant by that guy, even if she was going to have sex with him. And she didn't have to carry his child to term, even if she was going to get pregnant by him. Now, y'all can say whatever y'all want to say about women and abortions. I just know they have them. Okay? That's what I know. So they keep the babies they want to have, and they get rid of the babies they don't. That's the thing about black women. They get rid of the babies they don't want. So if she kept a trifling man's baby, why am I supposed to think something wrong with the guy? The very first thing I'm gonna think is something wrong with her. Why would you have a trifling man's baby? Okay, but see, women will do this stuff because they don't expect men to say anything about it. So any man who's a trifling father is literally due to a trifling woman. Okay, it is what it is. And I think that's just how we just got to learn to start looking at stuff and accepting stuff. Just accept the reality, man. She don't even have a story to talk about how some man was trifling if she ain't trifling. And why you listening to trifling women? Okay? Why you care about the opinion of a trifling woman? You should ask yourself that as you take her story to heart. Why do you care so much about the opinion of a admitted trifling woman? Because she's admitting how trifling she is by telling you how quote unquote trifling the dad is. Okay, now the dad could be a whole different thing than what she said, but we know she trifling because if the dad ain't what she said, she trifling because she's saying the dad is that. We know she trifling no matter how we put it together. She trifling. Now I'm gonna say this, y'all. Father's Day, people always want to say something about these quote unquote bad fathers. Well, did that's your fault, okay? That's something you invited in your life. What they got to do with all these good fathers out here? Okay. Now, at the end of the day,
you meant the three people who are good fathers.
I mean, black men are the best fathers America has to offer.
And
that's certified at this point.
Only 3 of y'all.
No, it's not only 3 of us. You know, they done did the research, man. At the end of the day, people can say whatever they want to say, but black fathers are literally the best fathers in America. Not because we say so, because the government did research and proved it. So it is what it is. We literally the best fathers in America. We are the standard of what a father is. It's that simple at the end of the day. You look at anybody else as a father, you're looking in the wrong direction. So, you know, when people diss fathers, I just know they salty. That's all they really is. It's just people being salty. That's all it really amounts to. And guess what? I've never believed in bad fathers because I didn't grow up seeing any. Now let's be realistic about this stuff, y'all. I didn't grow up seeing a bunch of bad fathers. Okay. Now, are there kids that didn't have a father in the home? Yeah, I told y'all that. As a little kid, when I first could visit people, you know, and the father, the father not there. Now later on, I came to the conclusion maybe the father was a drug dealer, maybe the father was in prison. I don't know what the exact story was, but I assumed as a child that their father was at work just like my father was at work. So at the end of the day, you know, I didn't spend my time around those quote unquote bad fathers. And I'm gonna say now, if the father ain't in the house, that's got to be mama's fault, because who else's fault can it be? Who the one that don't want him there? It's got to be mama. So, well, go ahead. Say what you're trying to say.
That's your fault. Y'all went to Black and Mild and never came back.
Not at all. Not at all. Now, shout out to Shark Sim. He said, I don't know, Roger. You sounded like black women saying the most educated. No. The CDC did something independent of Roger, and they researched fathers, and they found out that black fathers were the most involved. So we are literally the best fathers America has to offer. So no, it's not like what black women say. Black women say they're the most educated because it sounds good. I'm saying that we're the best fathers because the government found that out. Totally different. Totally. The government found that out. That was on the government. I didn't tell them to go look that up. I didn't tell them to do no research. They did that. And that's what came out. We the most involved fathers. We are literally the best fathers America has to offer. It is what it is. So we can't put that on me. That's what the government said. Okay.
So now all of a sudden your trust the white men now.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say
that's now.
What? Say it again.
So your trust the white men stats now.
It ain't. No, at the end of the day, they count it. And as I've said before, when somebody counts and you don't, you got to accept what somebody else came up with until you do some research yourself. That's just how reality goes. Doesn't make a difference who did the counting. If you didn't count and somebody else did, you got to accept what they say until you find another person or you go do the counting yourself. So it is what it is. And I'm gonna say shout out to Shark said he said most involved don't mean best. And I'm gonna say yes, it does. You have to be involved to be the best. If you're not involved, you're not going to be the best. You can't be an uninvolved father, but somehow be better than fathers that are involved. That's just not going to happen. Okay? It is what it is. You got to be involved to make a difference. All right? Now, so yes, most involved that will translate to the best. I'm gonna definitely stand on that one. Okay. Now, this is the thing, y'all. You know, it doesn't make a difference what black men do and how great we are at being fathers. America don't care. I get that. Okay. They don't care, but they don't care about us in general. Now they also, you know, don't care about just even the non-black fathers. So it's an American thing that they're not really pushing for fatherhood right now, regardless. And that's okay. America can do what it wants to do. But there is something black men can actually do about this. And I understand it may sound somewhat crazy, but we're going to have to start taking the reins when it comes to Father's Day. You're going to have to actually start making people go out for Father's Day. I know that you shouldn't have to do it. I get that somebody else should be volunteering to celebrate you. Well, you're going to have to start that tradition if y'all celebrate holidays at all. Now, me, I'm not finna celebrate no holiday. But for people who are involved in holidays, you're going to have to do that. If you want Father's Day to mean something, I'm going to say black fathers don't have to make it mean something. But I'm going to slow down right there because we got another guest. We got Bronson. We got Bronson over Jordan who has showed up. Dissing on the slide, but it's all good. We're gonna let him get his opening statement in. You got it, my brother. I don't know what you're gonna say. All I know is you're starting off wrong. But go ahead.
Shout out to Roger, shout out to the chat, and shout out to Brunson's dad. And this brother has won not only NBA championship for a team in 53 years, but this brother also got Finals MVP over a 7'4" monster. And it just goes to show that when your dad is in your life in training, you can overcome anything. You see? And and when it's your real dad and not your stepdad, I don't want to mention no other names like Jordan, but you can even slay monsters, and you can do something that hasn't been done in most people's lifetime. So shout out to the real dads. I can't shout out to stepdads because y'all made it this way. But shout out to real dads, and I'm even gonna give the single mothers credit over stepdads. So shout out to the mothers who have to be fathers also. Now, but the one thing I would like for us to do that we in the black community don't really do, we need to be honest. I can't really say that we are the best dads in America. We have the best dads we have to offer. I can't say that because If we were, why would we constantly get women pregnant who wants to keep us away from our children? That is not a mindset of being a best dad. Then we look at children. Our children can't read. Our children cannot read. You saw the girl that just got suspended when she brings out a card that says silhouette, and nobody can even read that. That we're not the best parents. Our children can't read. Our children not performing in school, girls or boys. Right? We're not. I'm sorry, we're not. Because when we look at our children, which should be the proof of the pudding, they're not where they need to be. And I'll leave it there.
Okay. And I'm gonna say, y'all, shout out to him for trying. But I know it's hard to accept the truth sometimes. And I'm gonna say at the end of the day, what he just mentioned was proof that we are the best fathers, because he's talking about basically children that don't live with their father.
But if you're,
hold on, let me get mine out now. Let me get mine out. When you live with your daddy, you can read. Okay, it just is what it is. When have you ever seen a kid who can't read and live with their daddy? Now, I'm not gonna make fun of black women that the kids who live with them and they don't have their father around can't read. I'm not gonna even make fun of these women. I'm just gonna say it's just more evidence that black men are just the best fathers. Because you ain't gonna be a black child living under your daddy's roof, okay? And you just sitting there and you can't read. That don't happen, bro. That just don't happen.
Whether my child lives with me or not, reading is an essential life skill. Whether they're with me or not, I'm going to make damn sure that they can read. I'm not going to be a good parent if they live with me only, especially when it comes to reading, right? I'm going to make sure they can read regardless. And the fact, and so if you're telling me I'm only going to make sure they can read when they live with me, that makes me a shitty parent. That makes me a shitty person.
No, what I'm saying is father's going to get results. So when your kids live with you and they can read, and then you have kids that don't live with their father who can't read, it automatically proves that a father is the difference maker. And people should be living with their father. That's literally what there's evidence of.
So Roger, let me get this straight. So you're telling me that if the father is alive and they don't live with the father and they can't read, that's still not the father's fault? That's still not both parents' faults?
No, it's not. No. Whoever has custody over the children, whatever's going on with their kids is their fault.
No. But as a father, even if you don't have custody, your child needs to read, bro.
It doesn't make a difference. If you don't have custody, you can't control everything going on in somebody else's house, and that's just a reality that nobody can get. If your child can live with you and your child can't read, it's your fault because you're the custodial parent. If you're not it's not both parents' fault. Because if you're not the custodial parent, you can't control what the kid does. And that's just the reality.
But if you have most have shared custody, right? Most have shared custody, right? Most people have shared custody, and if you have shared custody, and even I don't need full control to make sure that you can read.
I hear what you're saying, brother, but at the end of the day,
this is too far.
No. The thing is, we as black men, we like making excuses for women, and this is what you're doing.
I'm not making excuses for women.
Yes, you are, because they have custody, and their kids can't read, and it's their fault, and you want to blame somebody other than them.
I'm not blaming anyone. What I'm saying is that
you are. You definitely blaming somebody because it ain't the kid's fault. So whose fault is it? It's got to be somebody's fault.
It's both.
It's not both. It's always a custodial parent's fault. No, whatever children do, it's their custodial parents' fault.
Not when it comes to reading. No, absolutely not.
No, reading included. Now you can try to work with your kid when you do get time with your kid, but in the reality is that's a limited amount of time. So if your kid can't read, is clearly the custodial parents' fault because they spend plenty of time with that child, and that child answers to them on a regular basis.
If your kid cannot read, is it the custodial parents? Yes, it is. If your kid can't read, and as a father, is it also your fault if you're not the custodial parent? Yes, it is. You need to take action, bro.
No, you can take action, but at the end of the day, if you're not the custodial parent, your actions will be limited.
No, that is false. No, that's false. That's false.
It's not false
narrative. That is absolutely false narrative.
Brother, you're always gonna have limited things of what you can do with your child if you're not the custodial parent.
To sit here and say, just because I'm not the custodial parent, meaning that I have absolutely no way, no access, no resources, no right to be able to make sure that my child can read. That's false.
That's not what I said. I said whose fault it is that the kid can't read. It's the custodial parent's fault. A person who is not the custodial parent can try to do a lot of different things, but at the end of the day, that kid understands who he has to answer to.
But you still
has to answer to if it's a girl.
You still cannot sit here and say that we are the best, because I definitely don't think black people are the best parents that America has to offer.
I didn't say black people were. Black women are not the best parents. There's no evidence that they're the best parents.
Black women, because our kids are not performing.
And that's because there's too many kids counted amongst masses of children that don't have their fathers don't have a father in the home that they live in. If they live with their father, they be fine.
No. This is something that goes beyond that. This is something.
No, it doesn't. Every kid that lives with have you ever met a kid who lived with his daddy and can't read?
When the other guys come, well, except for Reset because he's trifling, but I'm pretty sure when the other normal fathers come up here, like Black Uru will tell you, regardless of custody, you make sure your children can read.
You do what you can when you have custody, but at the end of the day, ain't no black child who live with a father who can't read. That don't exist, bro.
Nobody's making that point. My point is saying that there's too many underperforming black children that have fathers and have mothers that are underperforming to say that we're the best parents.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if a child live with their father, they good. It's that simple at the end of the day. You're talking about reading. If they live with their daddy, they're fine. That's not an accident. And it's proof that somebody else ain't doing their job well.
But my point is that on some things which are essential life skills, you need to make sure your kids have that. Regardless,
I'm not arguing that it's not an essential life skill, but that essential life skill seems to not be a problem at all as long as a child lives with their father.
Well, we don't know that. Actually, we don't know that. We don't know that.
No. I'm saying I don't know any black child that live with their daddy and can't read. I don't know any. I ain't never came across that.
But that doesn't prove your point, yay or nay. We have to look up the statistics, because what the statistics show, black children in general, whether two-parent household or not, are underperforming. Under the grade reading level.
I do understand things will change when you look at something in mass, but also in mass, a kid that live with his daddy, if they black, they can read. I ain't never came across a kid that can't read and they live with their dad. Not one. And I know a lot of people with kids. I ain't seen it one time.
I need data on that, because from what I understand is either we can't read or we read below the grade level.
No, I do agree with that. But I am also saying I've yet to meet one child that live with their daddy and they can't read.
But that doesn't prove anything. That doesn't prove anything.
I'm not saying this I'm not saying this absolute 100% proof, but at the end of the day, it is a factor. And when they look at how kids read, they're not separating the kids as do they live with their daddy or not. They just saying overall they can't read.
Right,
and I understand that.
And then also when you look at the research that says that children perform better with the father. Children perform better with the father than with a single mother. That's not for black kids. That's for all races.
I understand that, but at the
Right?
end of the
That's for
day,
all races.
I understand that, but at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, research points to when a child lives their father, they just simply do better for the most part.
Yeah, but we don't know how many black children. But we're black people, so we talk about black children.
Now, I get that.
And right now, that data doesn't specifically say who they tested. But what the data do say about children is that black children is that we're underperforming. You either have illiteracy or you're reading below grade level. And this goes for all of us. We are not the best parents when our children are not the shining example of what children should be.
Okay, and I'm gonna say, at the end of the day, bro, they've done all type of research about people and children. They say a child does better in a 2-parent home, which means they're under their father's roof. And then it says if they're but at the end of the day, it doesn't make a difference because all races still include black folk. If they come from a 2-parent home, they're probably gonna do the best, which means they're under their father's roof. If they come from a single parent home, if they live with their father, they usually perform better, which means their daddy's roof. At the end of the day, if they under their daddy's roof, they probably gonna do better.
We
just
don't
is what
know
it is.
how many black kids were interviewed in that situation.
Brother, regardless of the amount, if you live with your daddy, you do better.
But it matters if they interviewed 2 niggas and the rest were all white, then that really does matter.
Brother, it's 2-parent homes and father a single led home, but you got fathers versus mothers. They say the better performer is the father if it's a single parent home, and they perform better in the 2-parent home. So that's 2 situations where if daddy's there, everything's better.
But it's not broken down by race, so we don't know.
It's 2 versus 1, bro. It's 3 situations. 2 of them got a daddy there.
But like, I understand that your paradigm doesn't want to be shifted. But you got to look at the distribution and seeing who are the people actually being interviewed or surveyed. That matters.
I hear you, brother. I hear you. And all I'm saying is black folks is included in everybody. And in 3 situations, the ones that do the best is when dad is there.
Listen, brother. We are underperforming. We are underperforming. And I'm thinking, and let me be clear. FBA are performing at record lows. Can't read at grade level. Some niggas can't read at all. And at the end of the day, man, that's everybody's fault. It ain't this is not a gender war issue. This is everybody's fault.
This is not a gender war. It's a fact that if a child is with his father, he's probably gonna do better. It's not we're not saying it's every single one of them, but bro, that's just how the numbers play out. If they with their father, they're probably gonna do better.
We don't have a study on that for black men who are raising their children, because there's probably I don't know what 2% that do that.
Look, to me, it doesn't make a difference what the percentage is. If you said only 10% of children live with their daddy, if the 10% do better than the 90, it is what it is, bro.
We don't know, but that's the problem. We don't have data on that. We don't know that.
Okay. Wait for the data. That's all I'm gonna wait for the data. And I'm gonna slow down because we got another guest coming up. That's all. We just got another guest coming in. So we got Lord have mercy. We got Bane of Hot Sauce is coming in the building. So Bane of Hot Sauce, you got the mic, my brother.
This nigga.
I already know you're trying for that.
Hey, let me get my 2 minutes. This nigga. Roger, you got to spend 30 minutes arguing with this nigga. And can't call me the white supremacist up here. This nigga is up here telling you, how dare you speak out against these claims? How dare you try to give black men credit? How dare you? Even though his own father made sure that his ass understood that the 2% was greater than the 98% he got right. How dare you, nigga? You know what I'm saying? How dare you? Nah. Nah, you niggas don't get no credit up here. Now, this nigga up here, nah. Don't be up here trying to make black fathers great again. You niggas was never great. This is what he up here telling you. This nigga like Steven on the porch. Who is this nigga on this leg? That's what he telling you. He wants you to accept your inferior position
Wow.
as a father. That's what he wants you to do. Accept your inferior position. These women gonna get credit for all the positive things that go on no matter what. I don't know who Rick Bronson is. We need to talk about his mama. That's what this nigga is up here telling you. This is what this nigga is telling you.
Well,
How dare you?
2 minutes is up, nigga.
How dare you? Yeah, I'm gonna land my plane there. This nigga, god damn.
So first of all, if you would have came in, if you would have been a Johnny come lately mother, you know what? I gave Jalen Brunson father all the credit, bro. I gave him a bunch of credit and the Ball brothers credit. All I'm saying is that when our children are not reading where they need to be at and they're not performing where they need to be at, it's all hands on deck. I also said women are to blame for this. Like there's no innocent person in this, my friend.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, I understand there's a problem with literacy. That problem is easily solved when you put the kid in their father's home. It's not rocket science to me. You put the kid in their father's home, all of a sudden they can read better.
So I mean, look, man, look. I understand that you guys are really sensitive to accountability, especially with black men. I get it. But some things need to be say that, hey, we all got to work on this.
Hey, but ain't you the one that always talking about some best practices? Well, the best practice is just if you want your child to read, put him in his daddy house. That's best practices.
I agree with that. I don't disagree with that. But what I'm also saying, whether you have full custody or not, make sure you can get in your child's life so that they can read. That's all I'm saying.
There's nothing wrong with saying try to help with the fact that a child has a mama that lets him not be able to read at the level he should. Okay, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Of course, a dad's gonna do that. But at the end of the day, when you talk about what affects a child when it comes to grades, reading, all this type of stuff, it's who they got to answer to. If they know they ain't really got the answer to their father, they only gonna spend limited time with their father, or may not see their father on any regular basis. They don't have to care what that guy say. That's just the reality of it. They don't have to care because they don't have to answer to him. Well, but if they got to answer to their father, now it's a different story. When you live with a father, you know you got to answer to him.
Well, then that's where you and your baby mama got to get on the same page. You got to work that shit out.
Why would I get on the same page with a woman who don't want my child to be able to read?
Hey! Look, you shop the club and I work that shit out.
Why would I want to be on the same page with a person who don't want my child to be able to read?
Well, listen, I didn't say. I said you.
Rob, you talking
that shit out. You're the mother.
You talking to one of these hey mom ass niggas, dog. If the shit go wrong, it's the dad's fault because he was asking. But if that nigga win the championship in Pop Warner, hey mom,
No.
this is a hey mom ass
I
nigga,
said
dog.
nothing on the score.
Anytime he gets some shine, get in front of the TV, it's hey mom.
Bro, you are a lot of things, right? You're a lot of things, but a liar or you are not. So don't become one of the things. I never said. I ain't said nothing like the short because I said it's both. The blame belongs to both people.
Listen,
And
we don't. Listen,
I said that you got to work it out. I think you got to work it out with your baby mama so you can get it. Y'all can get
I,
this.
I, I understand what you're doing, and I really don't blame you. See, Roger don't understand. See, he got to come back for a little while to the United States. He got to get back in line before he get back here, bro. He got to be in practice.
Right. So
stop giving this man a hard time, man.
that's the situation. You wanna hear what you want to hear instead of what coming that was actually being said.
Look, man, I'm just trying to deal with reality, so we can get the right result. And I'm gonna get to where we need to do something with this whole Father's Day thing for people who celebrate holidays. Because now, if you like myself, I don't really celebrate no holiday, but it's none. I don't celebrate Christmas. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. I don't celebrate none of them. But I understand that's easy for me to do. It's a lot easier for me to do because I don't have any children. So I don't have to do all this stuff to make the kids feel good and all. So I get, but if you're gonna celebrate holidays and you don't make sure that Father's Day is one of the main holidays celebrated, I'm gonna say that's where black men have dropped the ball. We have not viewed it as dropping the ball, but we need to understand that we have dropped the ball. When Father's Day come up, with all the stuff fathers do, all the actual sacrifices that fathers make, all the extra effort that fathers do, because you're still a man at the end of the day, how come you don't make the family understand Father's Day is one of the most important holidays for people who celebrate the holiday? Stop waiting on your family to catch a clue. Your child should be growing up understanding that Father's Day is a big deal. We have first memories. Your child needs to, one of their first memories is Father's Day was one of the biggest holidays at our house. And that's just what it is. You set them the right way so they can continue the right thing later. So on Father's Day, you ain't got to wait for nobody to plan what to do for you. You plan it yourself and you start telling folks, it's Father's Day. This is what we doing. What's wrong with that? It's Father's Day. We doing this. We doing that.
I agree with you 100%. I think we should set out Father's Day akin to Christmas. I think we should do gift giving. I think we should have barbecues and all kinds of stuff. Like we need to make this our national. It's almost like a national Men's Day type thing, because men uphold the infrastructure. I don't give a damn what kind of father you thought he was, or what, however he was presented to be. We hold up the infrastructure of America. Period. Without us, all this crap gonna fall apart. So I think Roger's right. We need to start setting out Father's Day as a bigger holiday than any other holiday out there. I agree with you 100% on that.
Yeah.
Now Roger be up here lying about a lot of stuff a lot of times, but he right today. He right today.
Don't be no hater, man. Don't be no hater. we got a good track record going for today's show, so let's not switch it up. now, I'm gonna say this, y'all. I'm gonna say this. Look, real talk. I'll have to look at things, and this is not me trying to be on no holier than thou. This is just me thinking about the situation, seeing what I could come up with to make things better. So now, if I'm a father at this point, okay, let's say I have a child in the future, right? What am I gonna do? If we're gonna quote unquote, not that I'm gonna really celebrate holidays, so it wouldn't even be a thing in my house. But if I was a holiday celebrating type, what we gonna do on Father's Day? We going out somewhere I want to go. I don't need my wife to figure it out. We go. Now she may over a year to start to figure out, well, let me do some planning so I can have something to do. Because we're gonna celebrate my day. I don't care what you got going on. Okay? If I got kids, whatever plans you thought you had, you cancel them. Because it's Father's Day. Okay? So guess what we doing? Whatever I want to do. And guess what? Y'all paying for it too. Yeah, when they old enough to have money, they paying for it too. Now I pay for it in the beginning because that's just what it is. Daddy the one got the money. But as they get older, oh yeah, y'all gonna put y'all little allowance together and do something for me. I'm gonna get that thing I wanted because that's what I wanted. Okay, you don't know to buy me that jacket. Okay, you don't know to buy me that jacket. But when I'm giving you allowance and say $20 missing out of this allowance and $20 missing out of that allowance and you asking me what that I didn't get my whole thing. Oh, that's because you put some money away for Father's Day. You see what I'm saying? They ain't got to actually put no money away. Let's just say, and I'm thinking inflation and things like that. Let's just say I'm giving them $20 a week for allowance. Okay. Well, maybe a couple of them weeks, maybe for a month and a half, they only go get $10. Why? Because they putting money away so they can buy daddy's jacket. Because daddy's jacket is his Father's Day gift. Now I picked the jacket. They don't even know I wanted this particular jacket. But I'm gonna take their allowance and buy my jacket. And I'm gonna get it nice and gift wrap and give it to them so they can present it to me on Father's Day. Now y'all might say that sounds crazy, right? No. It's teaching them what they're supposed to be doing. Here y'all go. It's gift wrap. Now when Father's Day come up, y'all bring it to me. It is what it is. Now I mean I gotta sit there and wait to not wear my jacket until Father's Day come up. But what is that instilling in the children? That Father's Day is actually an important day. If these other days gonna be important, how Father's Day not gonna be important? To me, that's crazy work. Now, let you not be able to read and can't write a good card up. Because that wouldn't happen in my house. I'm gonna throw that in there too. How you can't go get a card and write up something good for your daddy? You live in my house. That ain't happening.
Don't start that, Roger. See, you been missing, Roger.
I'm just saying.
You starting stuff, Roger.
Okay. I dare one of my kids come on can't read. I dare you. You have a lot of problems you can't read in my house, and that's real talk. But I mean, when it comes down to it, if we got to set the tone for Father's Day, which obviously we got to do, then we need to start making a move, y'all. What's wrong with you, going to the basketball game that you want to go to because it's Father's Day? Maybe you like football. You going to the Raiders game because it's Father's Day. And maybe they did have some plans of what they're going to do. They're going to cancel their plans because you have chosen we going to the Raiders game for Father's Day. Just what it is. And whoever don't like it can start paying bills. You always got that as an option. I don't know why people don't use options like that the way they use. I don't hear it going on anymore the way it used to. Because my parents told me about how we could go learn how to pay some bills, and if they don't like if we don't like what they got to say, we can basically get out here and learn to pay some bills and take care of ourselves. That slowed a whole lot of thinking down when it came to me and my brothers and sisters. Okay. You got this option where you can stay a kid and not pay bills, or you got this other option where you can do what you want to do and you can go find a place to pay bills at. So we set the tone. So why not set it on Father's Day? Especially for all you fathers who go out y'all way to make sure y'all have these kids respect Mother's Day. Because, I mean, ain't fathers participating in making sure the kids respect Mother's Day?
Yep.
And I get it. Your wife should do it. But maybe you just got to embarrass your wife until she take it on herself. And I'm going to say embarrass her while the kids are young. That's all. You make a big deal out of Father's Day when your kid is 1. By the time your kid is 12, she should have been picked up the message. And if she don't take charge of it, she going to understand when Father's Day come up, we going to do whatever daddy want to do because she going to be used to it by that point. Now, when your oldest kid 12 years old, even if the mama don't do it and she take the role of, I'm going to stay out of daddy's way, then by the time your oldest kid is 12, she's going to be looking at him like, so what we doing? Now, I don't see how that's not a win also. I know some people want the whole thing, because somebody else got to figure it out. Somebody else got to do the planning. But when your wife is coming to you like, "What we doing, Daddy?" Are you losing? I don't think y'all. May not be the win you want, but you still won. You know, maybe you beat somebody by a quarter of a second instead of 2 seconds, but you still won. Ain't this the way to go? You know, and well, the brother done dipped out for a second. Maybe he come back before the show over. How about we actually start giving credit for what fathers actually do, like making sure their kids can read? Now, anybody can say whatever they want. Have you ever met a father who got kids that live with him that can't read? You know, I ain't the only person that knows guys who got children. Go ahead.
I got to agree with you. You came up with some stuff here, and to address one of the Elder Blood's comments, they do use Father's Day as a faulting day for fathers. That's basically what these women are doing. Who are saying, "I'm the mother and the father." They're attempting to use that opportunity to place blame on men who are not in their children's lives, even though they've done everything possible to make sure this is so. I don't even blame Hot Sauce for his particular position. I just understand that he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand that there are women out here that have this heroes complex. They literally do everything they can to make sure that you're not involved, so they can look like a hero. I don't know what they think they're getting out of it. They don't care about how the children suffer from not having a father in their life, but they literally do that. You cannot teach a child how to read under the circumstances. When you're simply fighting for the right to visit your child, you're fighting for the right to have your child visit you. You can't teach a child how to read under those circumstances. He just doesn't know. He doesn't know what that feels like. He doesn't know what that's like to go through that thing. But I agree with you 100%. I think we need to make this as festive a day as possible. I think should be days for whole families where you have the mother, the father, and the children together, where you go on a trip that day, or that be the day that if you're in a financial position where the father gets a new car because he got to get up and go to work and take care of everybody, might as well do it in style. Like, this should be a festive day, and it should be a festive day for the entire family, but especially for the father.
Absolutely.
If you want to teach your children this thing, make it where it's fun for them too. They get to go to that restaurant y'all go to once a year. They get to go to this amusement park that y'all go to once a year. Make it be the greatest day of the year for the entire family, and the children will remember and carry it forward. I'm with you on this one, Roger.
Yeah.
God dang it, you right today.
Haters gonna hate. Boy, haters gonna hate. But when it comes down to it, y'all, at the end of the day, you set the tone for your household. You don't get to set the tone for other people's households. And that's just something black men got to come to terms with. Because I understand our brother's perspective. I do get it. You know, if he comes back, we'll talk more, but I totally get his perspective. But see, I have to stay in this reality that I don't get to set the tone in other people's household. And that's just what it is. If I want people to respect my household, I have to respect theirs. So I don't get to set the tone in their household. I'm only going to set the tone in mine. And the people who have to answer to me, they perform a little bit better than people who don't got to answer to me. And I'm going to keep it real. You know? When they got to answer to me, they seem to do a little bit of a better job. You know? I tell kids, because I'm a godfather, but I tell kids they got a responsibility to make me proud. Don't embarrass me, man. Don't have me talking about you and I got to talk about how pitiful you are, because that's not a good reflection of me. And I don't want you embarrassing me. Now, maybe some people think that's wrong. And y'all may say, well, you don't get it because you don't have kids. No. I wouldn't want my own kids embarrassing me.
Right.
And I'm not even the embarrassed type. But if I want to brag on my kids, I don't want to be regretful about speaking about my children. What parent wants that? Some of us have to deal with it, but what parent wants it? If you're a good parent, that is. And I'm gonna say shout out to Q Control. He says the kid can't read because their daddy was in the slow classes. Laugh out loud. He can't rise above the level of his disabled gene pool. Now I'm gonna say Q Control. I'm gonna say, and no disrespect to you, but this is dumb. This is really dumb. Because a father always wants his child to do better. So let's just say daddy can't read too well. He wasn't a good student himself. What is he gonna do? He just gonna have somebody who read better than him teach their son. He gonna have somebody who reads better than him teach their daughter. No father is gonna know he has a limited capacity to teach their child something and keep the information away from them just because they can't do it, instead of just swallowing their pride and getting somebody who's better at it than them to do. Have you literally ever met a father that did that?
It's obvious that crew control came in late in class today, but that's okay. We're going to catch up. We talked about Jalen Bronson and Rick Bronson today. Did not Jalen Bronson exceed Rick Bronson? Did we talk about that in the first 30 minutes of class today? But since you late to class, we're going to send you back there with slow kids so you can catch up. How about that?
No. I mean, I don't want to insult him because I don't know what spirit he's coming from. And he may be coming from a genuine place.
Late to class.
We gotta actually take account to what we see people do. I understand there's narratives out there, but we gotta take into account what people do. When have you seen a black father just decide his kids can't know more than what he knows about any particular subject? When have you seen a black father ever make that decision?
In general, as men, how we move about the earth as men, period. We always want the next generation to be greater than ours. Like we as men, we're not selfish when it comes to information with our children. We look at our own lives, like for instance, if fathers will say, "Man, I want my son to be a better basketball player than me, or a better football player than me, or a better engineer than I was, or a better student." Even if you have a father that wasn't a good student in school, as we're joking about here, you'll have a father be like, "Man, you got to do better than me, son." I've witnessed that. With other kids, where their fathers always want them to be greater than them. My own father, in the same way, my father went to college, finished college, got a degree and everything. My father always pushed me to be greater than him, and is always proud of me where I exceed him. Now, I didn't exceed him in scholastics, but I exceeded him in so many other things. And every time my father is the first to give me a call and say, "Son, I'm proud of you, man. You did that thing better than I did."
Yeah,
and that's how we move.
And in the real world, there's a thing that said, and y'all already know what it's going to be. Before I finish, y'all going to already figure out what the response is. Any child who went to their daddy, okay, especially a son, and said, "Daddy, I want to be just like you." Y'all already know what the response is. I won't say it, but y'all know what the response is. No, I want you to be better than me,
son. You be better than me, son.
So I'm gonna say this, y'all. I understand, folks who live in America. You live in a white supremacist country. I get it. You believe these white supremacist things. I totally understand it. The news been putting it out. The television shows been putting it out. Your scholastic, your academics. It's all throughout the school system. I get it. Y'all continue to get this message about how black men ain't about nothing. But I'm going to say, when are you going to be smart enough to listen to your own reality? Okay? Not my reality, your reality. I'm not trying to get nobody to agree because I said a thing. My thing is, how does what I said match your reality? Because at the end of the day, if you see men who want their children to be better than them, that's got to square in your circle some kind of way at some point. Or wouldn't you just kind of be foolish? I mean, at the end of the day, if you keep buying into what's presented to you, instead of the information that you actually intake. Don't you got to consider yourself foolish at some point in time? You know, I keep saying y'all information is more important than presentation. I've been presented a message about black men since I was a small child. I get that. But I also look at the information I get about black men. And the presentation don't match the information. I'm just keeping it real. Okay? We all can choose to believe in the boogeyman. You could say God is my boogeyman. Don't the one thing I believe in that I definitely can't prove is God. I can't prove him to anybody. But that's the only boogeyman I'm trying to believe in right now. So why are you so consistent? You gotta believe in this boogeyman that black men are trash that you can't even see. Boy, that's some faith right there. That's some faith. But I'm gonna slow it down because I got two new gentlemen that just joined us, so I'm gonna let these brothers get in. Can't correct niggas will be up first, and we'll get creator right after him. Go ahead, can't correct niggas.
All right. We had a serious conversation going, and Great Black Reset came and derailed it as usual. Goddamn. Honestly, the stocker father Great Black Reset probably came from. The stocker father Roger probably came from. That shit don't exist no more. It don't. Your father's probably was able to tell a bitch, shut the fuck up. That don't exist anymore, bro. Yo, Hot Sauce was absolutely right with that damn study that y'all running with, like black women is running with. We the most educated. Think about it. They said best father. They said men who the kids who live with their fathers. They didn't say race specifics. So how many black kids do you really think live with their fathers alone? Roger said he don't know any. Just because you don't know somebody that's going through something, Roger, don't mean niggas ain't struggling. Just because you don't know a nigga with no legs don't mean it ain't a nigga with no legs outside. Then on the top of that, if a farmer puts his seeds in bad soil, is he a good farmer? No. Like we get on black women all the time. They delusional. They don't want to take accountability for shit. Yo, when you look at these kids out here going crazy, you gotta blame the fathers somehow. The fathers these kids know their fathers. The fathers ain't present doing what they supposed to do. And Hot Sauce was kind of incorrect with the whole reading thing. But I'm gonna correct it for him. If you don't live in the house with your kids, if you know your kid and your kid can't read, you a horrible father. If you know your child, there's people out here who don't know their fathers. So I would solely put that all on that mother. If he don't, that girl or boy don't know her father. But bro, and then second, Roger, you don't know if these niggas got fathers in their house or not. You just assuming. That's what black women's superpower is, assumption.
No.
If we looking at these things, we can't. You can't tell if these people got fathers in their home or not. You really can't. Carmelo Anthony had a father in his home. Look at the shit he got into. These fathers are not the strong type of fathers that y'all came
That nigga can read though.
Not the strong type of fathers Black Guru is. They not the type of fathers no more, bro. And on top of that, I'm gonna end it off with that. It's Brunson, not Bronson. It's Brunson.
Okay, well, shout out to
Put
Bron.
some respect on that man's name, man. That's a great father right there.
I was gonna say something, but I forgot he's from New York. You're right, it's Brunson. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I apologize, sir.
Shout out to the Bronsons, okay? Shout out to the Bronsons. Now I'm gonna say this. No, brother. Look, what I said was just so we can get some clarification. The children who live in their father's home can read. I'm not assuming that just because a kid can read that he live in his father's home. What I am saying is every time I've come across a man with children in his home, his children can read. That's what I'm saying.
And you probably know some good fathers, but that don't mean every kid that live with their father can read. That don't mean every kid who live with their father is a good father. The mother probably was just so messed up, the kid ain't have no choice but to live there. I've
I
seen
am
that
not,
situation numerous times.
I'm not saying any situation is 100%. When you deal with people, you're not gonna get 100% on situations. You know, that's just how the game go. But the masses are going to be able to read because they got to answer the dad.
All right. All
I
right.
You know what?
understand there's children that want to do well in school because they just want to do well in school. Some kids, they at young age, they want to end up as valedictorians and things like that. I'm gonna say, for me personally, I remember doing well. When I remember back in grammar school, I remember doing well because I was told I don't have an excuse not to.
Roger, that was 1989.
Roger, you see, Roger, you ain't understanding what's happening here. They still celebrating the Knicks winning. This nigga still got cocaine residue around his nose, and I know it's true because he came in here agreeing with hot sauce, and then he went on to disagree with his major premise. The dude don't know up from down today, but it's okay. We appreciate you coming in. We got to
You
get
know
over
what?
the creative. We ain't gonna fit to argue with this nigga all day long.
I was just gonna
All
say
right.
the same thing. I can't have credit in here waiting, but so credit. Let's
Yeah,
get you in.
I
We'll
had to
double
get it
back
out
to him.
because once creators start, ain't nobody getting no love. So that's yeah, I just had to get that out.
Credit, go do your thing, bro. Don't let this brother discourage you. Do your thing. Do your thing. Uh-oh. Creator, are you there? Maybe he's having a problem, or maybe he stepped away. Creator going once. Creator going twice. I don't see no signal. Oh, something just happened. Creator,
Hey,
you there?
he definitely having technical difficulties. This
Yeah.
brother will never miss an opportunity to tell us what's on his mind.
All right, Creator. Why don't you, if you're on the phone, why don't you reset the phone, come back, brother? Because we're not picking up anything from you, brother. We're not picking up anything. And we definitely want to hear your point of view. Real talk. Okay. Now I'm gonna say shout out to Carmelo Anthony's daddy. His son can definitely read. I forget exactly what I don't know exactly what his GPA was. I've heard people say it was
3.7.
three. Yeah, I was gonna say
3.7.
I've heard 3.5 to 4.0. So I don't know what the exact number is. But everything I've heard has been 3.5 to 4.0.
Yeah, but
Okay.
you harping on reading. What are these black men's daughters doing? What are these black like? Come on, like what are
But
we
they live
talking
with their
about,
daddy,
bro?
their daughter can read too.
Nigga, they daughters. So what if they could read? They daughters are out here causing mayhem. Their sons are out here causing mayhem. That's how they read. They was able to read the damn Twitter saying we're gonna have a kids meet up at the mall.
Well, it was your boy who ain't here with us right now who brought the reading thing up. I wasn't gonna even
And
per
since
se bring it up, but
and since y'all was riding on statistics, what did the statistics say about children, black children reading at their grade level? They ain't.
no.
Listen, hold on. I think there's something that needs to be studied when it comes to reading, when it comes to all children, especially black children. The problem with reading today is texting. We done took this texting thing, and the children now actually write the way that they text. They don't use the whole words.
Correct.
So if you pay attention to these children, they are actually writing on the paper the way they text on the phone. You got to take them phones from the kids, man.
Boy, good luck. Mic check one two
I
one two.
know.
Mic check one two one two.
There he is. There he
Yeah,
is.
we hear
There you
you,
go.
Craig. You got it, brother. You got it. We hear you loud and clear now.
Busting
One of the
flows
greatest
and
fathers
kicking
we know.
hoes, busting down doors with your nose, man. What's happening, man? Hey, listen. Hey, I ain't heard from y'all in a minute. I ain't talked to y'all guys in a little while, man. What's happening, all you sucky ass daddies out there? You know what I mean? You ain't shit ass pops. You know what I'm saying?
Cut his mic off, Roger.
You
Cut his
nothing
mic off.
ass daddies out there. I'm talking to them guys. I'm not in that group. So I can talk cash shit about those schmucks that didn't do nothing. You understand? But take care of but finance they children's lifestyle. Nah, I'm talking about them schmucks that all he did was watch Married with Children, went to work every goddamn day for 16 hours a day, and just so happened to retire, right? And put their kids through school, right? Afforded his wife to chill at home so she can eat them chocolate bonbons and watch stories. I'm talking about them sucky ass daddies. You know what I'm saying? Not the ones that left. Nah, not the good daddies that said, you know what, this ain't for me, I'm gone. Not them guys, not the good ones. I'm talking about the sucky ones. The sucky ones that stayed, man, and actually worked out to where they got a pension and left their family with something, that taught their kids something, that actually taught their woman something. That guy. Those are the sucky ass dads that I'm talking about. Them ain't shit ass niggas.
I see what he did there. I see what he
I see.
did. See,
I see
Hey,
what
I
he
learned,
did.
I
Roger.
see what he
Hey, I'm
did.
learning. Hey, I done been through Roger University, goddamn. I learned fast.
Yeah, because these women are saying that you can be married and still be a single mother. So I see what he did there.
You
I see
Yeah.
know what
what
I'm
he did.
saying? I'm just saying, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what? We gonna get the bad end of the stick regardless to what we do. And I tell men, bro, like, just do it. Just keep walking. And as time progresses, if you thorough and the universe is on your side, you're going to be okay. Just keep walking. Don't turn around and start talking to people that's behind you. Do not do it. Just stay forward. Keep walking. You're going to lose some shit. It happens in life. You're going to lose some things, but you're going to gain some things as well. When you got to go and you got to move forward, a lot of us men, we ain't got time to turn around and listen to the yip yap. I just don't have the capacity, the mental capacity, the physical capacity. You got a man with a plan, you raising your family, bro, you keep doing that. Whatever she say, don't mean a damn thing. Whatever them kids talking about, don't mean a damn thing. I tell the kids, you gonna be young, shorter, and you're gonna be grown for the rest of your life. So this shit that I'm trying to teach you is gonna help you for the rest of your life. You don't get it right now. So if y'all want to be up under y'all mama and get soft for this little short amount of time, that's on you. But I'm gonna prepare you to be grown, which you're gonna be longer than you're gonna be that child. So we as men, we gotta be super niggas in everything that we do. We got to have 850 credit score. You got to be 7 foot. Schlong gotta be down to your ankles. You gotta have locks down to your knees. You know what I'm saying? And then it's okay. This is what they expect from all they men. I don't care what race you is. This is what they all expecting. But you're not gonna get that. To have a man even to have the mental capacity to deal with your ass in these day and age is enough. Now, a man with capacity, I'm talking about he's really getting it out here. He's got options. He really don't have to settle down. And if he's spending more than $300 on a date, he can have about 4, 5 of you. So keep that in mind, ladies. I'm gonna go ahead and land it there for now.
Oh, shit, I thought he was about to run out of gas in the end.
I don't run out of gas, man. I'm all gas, no brakes. I'm all gas, no brakes, man. I
Tell
just
him,
had to
brother.
learn how
Tell him.
to. I had to learn how to let you niggas come in, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm all gas, no brakes. So I had to put the Fred Flintstone down, man, to stop this motherfucker. You
Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you.
Hey man.
Now, Roger,
Hey man.
I do respect the notion of what you're trying to say with the whole Father's Day thing. But when we was young, Father's Day was more prominent because we had men. We literally had
That's
Father's
true.
Day was dumb more prominent than us. These
That,
niggas is soft. And you go and they talking about good father. No, they not good fathers. They niggas that do whatever the woman tell them to fucking do.
well, I'm gonna say because of how the situation is, and yes, there are some memories when. No, I got some memories. I remember Father's Day sales and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And it'd be like a real sale. I ain't saying they gave you the best, but they gave you something. They at least acted like they was trying to play the game out here. I'm gonna
Mandatory
say,
barbecue at one of your uncle's houses. That was mandatory barbecue.
man, I ain't see one Father's Day commercial this year.
Because they didn't sell it.
listen,
Yeah.
you can probably name it off the top of your head. What's the number one thing fathers want? If you was to want anything, but the number one thing that y'all think fathers want for Father's Day?
Some shit for the lawn.
I'm gonna say peace, goddammit.
Say that again.
I'm gonna say peace.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
no. We up in the ante. Nigga, I want that new F-150. That's what I want.
Nah, too much.
At least
It's too much pressure,
put a
Blake.
down payment on it. Hell no. If I
That's
got to
too
get
much
my
pressure,
ass up,
Blake.
I got to get my ass up and go to work and pay this goddamn mortgage and these bills. I need that down payment on that new F-150. Y'all
That's
got
too
to come
much
on through.
pressure. Too much proper planning. You understand? That's just too much. That is too. That means
Hey,
somebody might have to go get
hey.
some alternate income. They might have to figure out how to flip your income 10 times. It's just too much, man. I'd rather just give you that macaroni thank you picture.
Well, I'm gonna say, y'all, ages will have to be considered on what Dan wants. Okay, ages will have to be considered. I used the example of a jacket earlier because a lot of agents can deal with a jacket, but I'm gonna leave that new jacket, man. I'm gonna do something age appropriate. Now, I am gonna say this: if you got a bunch of grown kids and daddy want a new truck, if the kids can't get together to put a down payment on, come on.
Hey,
Come on, it's just a down payment.
I feel you.
hey, if you can't come up with a down payment for the truck, you come up with a down payment with a new motorcycle.
No,
That's cheap.
no.
Bro,
I'm
you
gonna
talking
Let's
about
say,
get that.
30 years worth of wigs and hair. They not going to sacrifice nails and toes for your truck. Is you tripping?
okay,
See, I'm fully on board with Roger, bro. We got to make this the greatest. We got to make this the greatest holiday out there, bro. I can't be accepting ties and jackets and socks and shoes. No, bro.
I think
This
Roger
got
said
to
it
be the
best.
best. This
I think
got this. You see, feel me where I'm coming from. This holiday got to be so great that your son got to be telling you when he growing up, boy, I can't wait to be a daddy.
Nigga, I can't wait to be a
I
father.
think
I
I
can't
think
wait to be a daddy.
Roger said it best.
We just say niggas got
Are
wish
y'all
lists.
prepared to
They
cut
gonna have
Christmas
wish lists
out
for
for
when
them?
they get older.
Are y'all prepared to hold Christmas hostage till Father's Day gets that
Let's go.
prominence?
Let's go, damn it.
Let's
Mother's
do
Day
it.
too.
Let's
I
do
mean,
it.
I
And
mean,
Mother's
some
Day too, goddamn.
as they say, sometime a man's got to do what a
What a
man's got to
man
do.
gotta
So
do.
if you got a
What
whole
a
Christmas
man got to
holiday,
do.
okay. Now I'm gonna read this real quick. Shout out to Urban Reed, and I'm gonna let this other brother get his words in, and then we'll reflect back on some of Elder what Elder Blood. I'm gonna go look those comments up again and get to those. But shout out to Urban Reed. He said, Roger, it was my dad that took me and my brothers to go get a library card. Most men I knew would say the same. Conversely, I don't know women that did so. Now, I'm going to say this. Shout out to Urban Reed for this. Shout out to your dad for handling that. I'm going to say in my own situation personally, yes, I do remember it was my father that was taking us to the actual library. I don't really remember my mother doing. I think she might have did it at least once or twice, I would guess. But I really remember my father taking us to the library. But because my father and mother were married at the time, I will give my mother credit for for what my father did. I can do that because they're a couple. They got to decide how they want to raise the kids. They're gonna do it how they want to do it. So I can give my mother some credit for being married to a man. Because if a man does the action and she's married to the man, I don't mind her getting some credit. It is what it is. She's doing the right thing. Okay. But at the end of the day, that means you got to be married to the man. You got to be following the program to even get some of that type of credit. Now, if y'all ain't married, then to me, it's just two totally separate things. And at the end of the day, I cannot look at y'all on any front of togetherness because you're not. Dad got goals, mom got goals. And sometimes y'all goals going to conflict with each other. That's why you're not together anymore. And that's just real talk. So once y'all separate, it's a separate issue to me. But I'm going to say shout out to all the fathers that did it. And I'm going to say this too. When I went to the library, I saw dads there with their children. I'm going to say that too. Now, I ain't trying to diss moms. Moms have track records because they say women have always done well in school and schools are pretty much designed for women and women. Yeah, they like that education stuff for themselves. But I'm going to just say, I did notice there was a lot of men at the library with their kids. Now, I know we don't go to the library like that because of technology, but it was a lot of kids at the library with their daddy when I was going. And I'm going to just leave it at that. And I'm going to turn it over to another great father. We got no placeholder here, so I'm going to let him get in. and we will revisit your comments, Elder Blood. Okay, shout out to you. No placeholder, you got it.
Morning, Roger. Morning, panel. And chat.
This morning.
Yes, I did watch the video from Passport OG. I agree with him that the environment is very anti-masculinity. You know, in a way that's almost detrimental overall to the future of America and the future of the West, because it seems to me that this hatred of male leadership and this hatred of male order and structure is a thing that the women are raving against, and they're doing it for whatever reasons that they're programmed by the powers that be. But at the same time, they're having a hard time living in a world where essentially they don't have the same, like, the patriarchy and all of the masculinity, order, the structure, the discipline that comes with that. They're feeling the ramifications of not having that, while at the same time raving against it. And they're I don't know if they can reconcile it, or some of them can reconcile that, but essentially they seem to have a hard time essentially reconciling the reality of destroying masculinity and still having a stable world simultaneously to basically to live in. So it's like one of the more delusional things that I'm trying to essentially to think about, or even to basically to even, like I'm saying, understand what they're going to expect to happen. And yeah, I'm going back to the video that the Apostle OG had with the fathers and everything, and one from the father that basically was showing the son how to play golf, and one of the other father that basically had both the daughter and the son participate in the activity, which is the football. It really is, and the comments from the moms and everything, it really is. I don't know how to put it. It seems like we built up a lot in this country from the male effort, and everyone doesn't realize that essentially that this destruction that they're doing is going to lead to a future that basically is going to be very terrible. Essentially, because the equity and all of the good work and the hard work that was put into the country is slowly being deteriorated, and it's going to have some effects in the future. But I'll land there, Roger. Thank you for having me up.
No, I appreciate you being up, brother. I appreciate you a great deal for being up. You know, shout out to all the fathers that done came up. Real talk. And I'm gonna say, yeah. I mean, a lot of women don't like to look at corresponding things like, you want somebody to take you on a date for $500, but you don't want the man to have discipline. How you gonna have $500 to spend on a date, but he ain't got no discipline? How that's gonna work out? Because last time I checked, in order to really do something, I mean, even the drug dealer got to be disciplined enough to keep going selling the drugs. You know, so there's gonna be some discipline in there somewhere. You know, and I'm gonna say shout out to Elder Blood. We're gonna bring his comment back up. He said, "Ain't no black man on the planet worthy enough to be on level of Jesus and black women. Make sure to emphasize this. Yet black women demand black men treat them sinless, like Holy Mother Teresa and virgins." Now, what y'all got to say on this? The black man, he ain't worthy to be looked at like Jesus, but we got to worship that black woman, though. We got to treat her like she is the sinless, most precious thing on this planet. What y'all got to say on that?
Well, this is the first time I'm gonna have to get on Elder Blood. First of all, he don't believe Jesus was a black man. I can tell by his comments. Because black men not being equal to Jesus is saying Jesus was a black man. So, hey man, we're gonna have to do a history lesson with you, but we're gonna do that another time.
Nah, he's saying that's what the women. He's saying that's what the women is looking at us as. He ain't saying. He said that's how they see it. Come on, now.
So hold on.
Let's not do him both.
Oh, okay, I'm not a biblical person, but I'm pretty confident Jesus called whores, didn't he?
Whoa. Hey.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm saying, I almost choked on my drink just then, man. Hold on. So it's like blameless. That is not what black women believe. Black women do not believe that Jesus ever spoke against a woman ever in his life. Never ever. He never said no to a woman ever in his life. Don't you ever say that again.
Well, I would say
I don't
this.
remember.
Horse was definitely mentioned in the Bible. I'm gonna say that. Horse was definitely mentioned in the Bible. I'm gonna have to double check to see if that literally came out of Jesus' mouth. Was it in the red text? I don't know offhand, but it definitely was mentioned in the Bible. Horse was mentioned in the Bible for sure.
I'm gonna tell you what black women believe about whores in the Bible. The one time Jesus did speak directly to a whore, he kept her from getting stoned. So we're going on about her business. That's what they believe.
But he
Jesus
did recognize
don't
her.
tell them, hey, keep going.
Yeah, but he didn't recognize what she was. You know what I'm saying? He was just trying to basically telling those guys that they're not blameless either. But he didn't indicate that she's without blame. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, he recognized what he knew she was a whore. I'll definitely say that. He definitely knew she was a whore. He was trying to teach a lesson on forgiveness and things like that, and to be good on both sides of the fence. But he definitely recognized her whore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think for a second Jesus missed that part.
So the lesson here is you should forgive them for their whoredom, sir. You shouldn't use such language, sir. You shouldn't use such language, sir.
Well, I'm gonna say, you do have a choice. You can forgive a whore. Okay, let's keep this clear. You can forgive a whore, but I don't remember a mandate in the Bible where you have to accept a whore for your personal situation. I will say that. Now, I have learned you're not supposed to condemn people. So ever since I caught that, I've tried not to condemn women. Technically, you can always change later. But I respect the fact that in reality, most black women ain't gonna change. And the ones that do seem like they have to have what they actually consider a traumatic experience first. Not what they call trauma. I'm saying they have to actually experience something that's literally traumatic to them before they will change. Until then, they own what they own. But I'm just a man who accepts what they own. So it's a little bit easier for me,
Well, going off of what no placeholder said, is getting to that point where they about to reap the benefits of what they've been sown, because like he said, like they want masculinity out, but then they realize but then they coming into problems where they still need it.
Yeah.
Like when that lady got her wig beat off by them eighth graders in Chicago, there ain't no masculine energy nowhere around to stop that.
Well,
yeah, and if there's masculine energy, them eighth graders wouldn't have been acting that way toward their teacher. They would have saw her with reverence. Because basically, Dad would have made sure of that. My kids don't play around with their teachers, though. I'm saying I let them know teachers an authority figure. Go ahead, Roger.
I would bet this. I would bet if a child had to come home to their dad, there's nowhere in the world. Because I'm not even sure about the story y'all talking about, but I'm gonna say there's nowhere in the world a child who got to go home and answer the dad is finna get their teachers a real problem. I don't believe that at all. You got to answer the dad after school. You ain't finna get your teacher to flux in any kind of way.
Exactly. Ass whoopers are coming, Roger. You know ass whoopers are coming. You gotta be careful.
Exactly. Because once dad found out, it's over with. One of the scariest things that you could tell a child back in the day was, I'm going to tell your father. Or maybe it was wait till your father gets home. Okay, both of them equally as terrifying back in the day. And if you want the results of masculinity, you should stop trying to stop the expression of masculinity. And that's just real talk. I see the people, they want these certain results, but they don't want men to go out here and actually be men. And I'm going to say it's sad to say that a lot of people want to believe that women can teach boys how to be men. And I've clearly said they cannot. You can
cannot.
teach somebody how to be a decent adult, maybe, but there's a lot of people I know who didn't have much time with their fathers when they grew up, and some people I know who didn't have time at all. There's a lot of lessons they learned as an adult that they could have learned as a child, but daddy wasn't there. And if daddy ain't there, that's mama's fault.
But that's why I was specific on saying these new generations of fathers. Because my father wasn't there. My father got caught up in the street life. But I had two grandfathers. I had multiple uncles. You know what I mean? So I had father figures there, not the birth father, but I had it there. It wasn't no slipping. It was no slipping. Let my mother say, "I'm telling your grandfather or your grandfather." My whole week is effed up till Friday.
Yeah, you're just waiting.
I'm scared. I don't know what's gonna go on when I go to grandma's house.
I hear you there.
All kind of scenarios are playing around in your head, right, Shark? All kind of scenarios between now and Friday.
All type. I'm hoping I can get to grandma first before grandpa sees me. But it ain't never happened like that. It ain't never.
I'm gonna say shout out to you niggas that actually had a chance to think about the situation and tried to steer on. See, when you look kid and you growing up with dad, ain't no what I'm gonna do. Dad come home tonight. You know, it's over with tonight. You know, you don't get that luxury when daddy coming home. You know, my daddy went to work, but he was coming home. So it is what it is, you know. And that's why I've said time and time again. Now, my mother, you know, a lot of people say she was a great woman, good woman, whatever, good mother. You say something on the positive side, but she was not 100% correct. She made mistakes just like humans do. And I could always give my mother some level of grace because of who my father was. You see, I'm one of these people, and I'm going to stay this way. If your dad wasn't there, that's your mama's fault. It's just something you got to deal with. And when you accept it, you see the world a lot clearer. If my daddy's a drug addict, that's my mama's fault. If my daddy won't pay no bills, that's my mama's fault. If my daddy's out here smacking bras all upside the head for no reason, that's my mama's fault. Because my mama made sure I was born to that man.
Oh, all right. I feel
You see what I'm saying? Because look, I ain't telling nobody whether you want to agree with abortion or not. All I'm saying is because black women clearly use it, they made sure that type of man was your dad. I'm not saying everybody can get the person they want, but they had the baby by the type of man they wanted to have a baby by because they clearly could have stopped it. And I hear women say, well, I don't believe in abortion. They don't believe it until they have one.
Technically, that is not biologically true. Because you come from your father's balls, so you're attached to that nigga no matter what.
No. I'm not saying you're not attached to her. What I'm saying is she made a decision what kind of man could be your father.
No, Roger. Life comes from the balls. So no matter who gave birth to you, if she did not let your father get you pregnant, then you would not exist.
No. I'm not disagreeing with that at all. What I'm saying is because of the time we live in,
exactly.
When it comes down to it, if the woman didn't want to have a baby by that type of man, it was not going to happen.
No, you're not understanding what he's saying. You would have came out of your father's ball sack, no matter which woman he used to do it with.
No,
that's what he's saying. He's correct.
Yeah, but
I 100% agree with that. But I'm also saying if a woman got pregnant by any particular man and she made a decision, this baby is not being born, that baby was not being born. That's what I'm saying.
But my point is, it's not her fault that dude is your father. It's not her fault.
Yeah, it is. It is her fault. It is her fault, Sauce.
No,
in this environment, it is.
No, you put the
Sauce. This environment is.
No. It's her choice that you came to terms. But you were gonna be who you are, no matter which woman
Exactly.
you came out of. So if your daddy
Nah,
was a
but,
crackhead, it's because your daddy was a crackhead. It
Right.
ain't because she
yeah, but
chose to have a baby from a crackhead. It's because your
exactly.
daddy was a crackhead.
We're in
No,
an
I mean,
environment of equal choice. What I'm trying to say is that we're in an environment of equal choice, and not only an
yeah.
equal choice, we're in an environment where women have more leverage. So what I'm saying, I agree with you. How to also the process begins with the men, but like initializing a process does not mean you're in control of the process. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you just
Doesn't matter.
basically
Well, control of the process or not, it doesn't matter. Life comes from the man, not the woman. So whether it was from woman A or woman B or woman C, whichever woman agreed, that's where you
Yeah.
come out of because you're attached by the father.
yes.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to explain to you, the quality of your life after that is solely based on the female in this environment. It's
Yeah.
solely based on her.
Well,
You're right.
I
You're right.
think y'all
Y'all
trying to
both
argue
correct.
something that don't need to be argued. I said if you're born, the woman let you be born. See, a woman could have had a baby by a stand-up man, just like she could have a baby by a crackhead. It's whoever she allows to be born.
But your
And
father is going to be a crackhead no matter what.
no. Your father ain't gonna be a crackhead if a woman refused to have a baby with a crackhead.
Thank you,
You don't
Roger.
understand what I'm saying. You don't understand what I'm saying.
No, I do understand what you're saying. And the reality is, if won't nobody let that crackhead have a baby, he ain't having one.
Exactly. It's not Genghis Khan, bro. We're not talking about marauders here. You come into a village and getting women pregnant without their consent, bro. I'm saying,
Yeah,
stop pretending, yo. Stop infantilizing them.
I'm saying even if a woman gave you consent to get her pregnant, you're not coming to term unless she agrees to it.
Yeah.
So so when it comes down to it, your father
You
is
know
who
what?
he is because your mother allowed you to come to term. If she don't want
I
no
mean,
baby by a crackhead, she ain't had to
yeah,
want no baby by no crackhead. Just is what it
yeah,
is.
that's her half of the equation, Roger. So I agree with you that basically we have everyone has some level of power and some level of leverage in this equation. What Hart's also talking about is a different environment. In an environment of maybe the 19th, whatever we want to call it, where essentially you're a man, you get a woman pregnant, she's following your lead, she's in the environment supporting you. That's a scenario where you can blame the men. You know what I'm saying? And men would blame each other for that. You know what I'm saying? And
What I'm
men held
saying,
each other accountable for that. You know
what
what I'm
I'm
saying?
saying
But
to
this
you,
environment, the women have as much
what I'm
power as the
saying to
men.
you,
So stop trying to
what
make them
I'm
an
saying,
infant, bro.
what I'm saying to you, it doesn't matter if you are born and she allowed you to be born, and your father is a crackhead, that will never change. The only thing that will change is if you're born or not. But the quality of man that you're born to has nothing to do with her.
It has
Yes, it
everything to
does.
do with her
It
because
has everything to do with her.
any man
No,
that wants a
no,
baby
no.
cannot have one until the mom clears it. No
Like I said,
man can
brother,
have a baby
like I said,
just because he wants to.
like I said, it's
You
it's up to her if you are born, but the quality of man is not up to her. Now, whether you're born or not, yeah, sure, that's
No.
up to her.
I'm not saying anything about the quality of man is up to her. I'm saying your father is a quality man. He is because she made it that way. He
No,
can't have a baby
no,
until she say
no,
no,
he can have
no.
one. That's
No,
the
Roger.
reality of it.
Roger,
No.
he's saying the quality of
no,
man
Roger.
you
No,
become,
no. The thing is, he's
not the
trying to
of your
argue
father.
something different because it's a different argument to try to put men and women on an equal level that they're not
I'm
on.
not. I'm not. I'm not.
At the end of the
No,
day,
no,
No,
your
he's
no. He's
not. He's
not.
not saying
your
that.
dad is gonna be the
Roger,
mom. Is gonna be according to who mom carried the term.
And he's
I'm
saying
not
he
talking
wants
about
to.
the
Roger,
quality of men.
No,
I'm
he's not.
saying any man
Roger.
at any quality cannot have a baby until a woman agrees to carry that baby to term.
Roger, he's saying that
Roger.
the ilk of the baby is of the father. So if the father is an ancient nigga and have ancient
I
tendencies and traits,
understand that.
that's how the child will come out. It don't
I
matter what the
understand what
mother
he's
do.
saying,
All
and
right.
that's why I say he's arguing something different to make
But
it
hold
seem
on,
like there's something equal
but hold
going
on,
on.
Shark.
There is nothing equal going on. I said a woman is going to have the baby that she wants to have, meaning whoever she got her pregnant, she's going to make a decision whether she's going to carry that
Hold
baby
on.
to
Hold on.
term or not. That is the only thing I'm
Correct me if I'm
talking
wrong.
about. He's
Correct me
making
if
a
I'm
whole
wrong.
different argument that has
Correct me.
nothing to do with
Correct,
what I'm saying.
correct me if I'm wrong. You said that if your father is a crackhead, it's your mother's fault.
It
If your
is your mama's
father
fault because
if
you
your
don't
How?
have to
father
carry
doesn't
no
come
crackhead's
around
baby to term.
if your
That's true.
father doesn't come around, then that is
Yes,
Yes, because
yes.
she
She
don't
needs to.
have to carry no child to term based on how that man is. If she don't want that man to have no baby by her, she don't have to give him one. So it is her fault.
Exactly. You gotta choose the best man for you to be your
my
father. She has to choose the best man, bro. I'm saying.
My point says because what I said was that it's two options. Either you're not going to be born, right? Either you're not going to be born, or your father's who your father is, and she has nothing to do with the quality of person she is. So either you're not going to be
What?
born, or your father's going to be a crackhead.
He's making a different argument that has nothing to do with
I'm
what
like,
I
what are you
said.
talking about, dude? Nobody's saying that the woman's gonna convert the man into something hard talk. We're just saying that before you have the man's child, you have the capability in this environment to do certain. I'm saying, come on, man. The women are not completely incompetent.
You're wrong. No placeholder. You're wrong. Stop.
No
Okay,
placeholder.
you're wrong, dude.
No,
And you need to stop.
no placeholder. You're helping Roger to be wrong. Don't do
No,
it.
No, he's
I'm
not.
not wrong at all.
He's not wrong. I don't think Roger's wrong at all. I don't know what you guys are talking. Go ahead, convince me I'm wrong. I've been listening to Hot Talk, so I don't believe what he's saying. So you convince me, GBR.
Okay. Your entire existence exists inside of your father prior to him choosing a woman. Your
That is not
entire
what
existence.
that
Hold
literally has
on.
That's crap, dude. That's crap.
Hold on. I'm
Oh
saying
my
this.
God. Oh my God.
GBR, what you said has nothing
Oh
to
my
do with
God.
what I said. It literally has nothing to do with what I said. That's why I said he
I
arguing something different to try to equalize something that isn't. It literally
I'm
has
not
nothing to do with what
finished.
I said.
I'm not finished saying what I'm saying. So how you know what I said?
Thank you, Mr. Me
The
Too.
part you just said literally has nothing to do with what I said.
No. It has everything to do with it. You just don't understand what I'm saying.
I do. But go ahead.
You exist inside of your father. Okay, you exist. The seed determines the child, whether it's male or female. That exists inside of the father, right? The woman is simply an incubator, right? So if your father's a crackhead, you were going to come out of your father no matter what.
Okay. So what's
Your
the point?
your mother.
That has nothing to do with what I said.
To
Yeah.
Roger's point, your mother's wait. To Roger's point, your mother simply had a child from a crackhead. But if Roger's father was a crackhead, Roger's father was going to be a crackhead no matter what, or he wasn't going to exist at all. That's it.
We're not debating that, dude. Nobody's debating that. We agree with that. Nobody's debating that. We're debating.
No, I'm not
No.
debating
Roger's
that.
not
I'm
debating
pointing
that.
out the
Roger's not
fact
debating. Go ahead,
that
Roger.
I'm pointing out the fact that you're bringing up something that has nothing to do with what I said to pretend something is equal. Because what you're talking about literally has nothing to do with what I said. I said whoever your father is your mother's fault because she carried you to term. And nothing you're saying changes that.
So he's
Nothing
saying
you're saying changes that. Because he cannot carry a baby to term on his own. He can't do it.
Okay.
He can't.
Y'all both right. Y'all just both saying something different.
But it's two totally different things.
Yeah.
And like I said, he's trying to make something equal to something that ain't got nothing to do with what I said. Who your father is literally on your mama. If your mama can get a particular type of guy to get her pregnant, cool.
You did all right. You did all right. So you got to that last statement. That's
no, brother. It is what it is. The thing is, we as black men, because we have this protective nature. So I'm not even saying it's a bad thing that people want to protect women. At the end of the day, I don't care what you want as a man. If you live in this country where the law is she'll have a baby if she wants to, doesn't make a difference what kind of man you is. She got to agree to carry your baby, your child to term. And if she agrees to carry that child to term, there's automatically a fault that comes with that. So who your father is literally becomes her fault because she has to agree to carry the baby to term. And nothing anybody said has changed that. A fault comes with everything. Every responsibility got a flip side too. Every right has a responsibility. The responsibility carries fault. Whether it's good or bad, it carries fault.
See, this is the problem, right? You can and this is why we have a problem in the black community. You just can't rationalize with black people. You're telling them like genetic facts.
This guy right here. Now you're just going ahead hominems. That's it.
I'm not. Somehow we're
Yes, you are.
No. He's arguing his point. He's not using.
I didn't call anybody a name, bro.
I mean, you just said that basically black people are irrational, bro. What's that supposed to mean?
They are. I'm a black person, and I'm saying it. Yeah, we are.
Well, I'm a black person. I'm very rational.
At the end of the day, whether you see it,
only rational after you smoke weed. So
Listen, I'm rational all the time. I know what you talking about, bro.
Well, at the end of the day, regardless of how much ration you use, we are in a culture where a man cannot have a baby without literally a woman's permission.
Yes, we are.
That's where
we can all agree to that. We can all agree to that.
Nobody disagree with that.
Which means automatically, whoever your daddy is, and you a person, whoever your daddy is literally your mama's fault. I'm getting away from that.
That makes zero sense.
You can't exist unless she gives you permission to exist, which means it's going to be on her, not the man.
You cannot exist unless he comes inside her.
Yes.
He can still come inside her.
That's bullcrap. That's bullcrap. You can still come. Exactly. Tell him, Roger. You can take a fucking pill the next morning, you gone.
Unless you come inside her.
No. See, y'all doing it wrong.
That's not true. If a woman can gain access to your sperm and get it in her period under any scenario, you can be born. And guess what? It's still on her.
Roger just did a court.
Bro, they had a court case about this. A woman took the sperm, injected into herself. She got pregnant, had a baby, and the court literally said you are now responsible for this child.
If a man does not ejaculate, you cannot be born. There you go.
Well, all right, dude. Let's move past this, yo, because this guy's basically steadfast in his ignorance.
No, he was right, Roger. He was right. Roger just did a cartwheel and threw a ninja star at him with that bullshit. Talking about the
No. I said the truth. What I said is the truth. At the end of the day, however you get it, if she has to approve of your baby coming to term, or it's not coming to term. It is what it is.
But
Roger's unaware that something he said actually contradicts his earlier statement. He's not aware that he did that. And hot sauce is. That's all that's happening.
No, bro. The only thing I said is her fault. Whoever your daddy is her fault, because you don't get to decide whether you're born or not. The father don't get to decide whether you're born or not. Only the mother can make that decision, which means, number one, she got to get pregnant by you, and she got to carry the term.
No, not really.
That is not true. That is not true. I do not have kids because I was cautious enough to make sure I don't have kids.
I understand that. We're not arguing that, bro. At the end of the day, though, when it comes down to it,
I decide just as much as the woman whether or not I have kids.
No, you don't.
Yeah, nobody even said that.
You can't.
Yes, you do.
You cannot make any woman have your child.
No, he didn't say that. He said you decide.
Didn't say that.
No.
Of course you decide to basically have sex with a female. Nobody's saying that.
He said he has equal decision-making ability about having a child, which he doesn't have.
Yes,
you don't have. I can get a woman pregnant, but I can't make her have a baby.
But if I don't want to have a baby, I'm not going to have a baby.
Which means you don't have equal. Because I can want the baby and I can get her pregnant, and that still don't mean I get a baby.
If I want a baby, I can find a woman that want to have a baby.
Your argument does not equalize what I said.
Yeah, but Roger, you just confirmed your point. Roger, listen what you just said, Roger. You said if I wanted to have a baby, I could find a woman that wants to have my baby. So you confirmed your point, Roger. You just confirmed your point.
No, but my point is that if I don't want to have a child, that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to have a child.
You're talking about not having a child. I said it's a woman's fault who your daddy is. That means the child exists, which means you had a child. You're trying to argue. You're trying to argue a negative versus a positive. I'm talking about a baby that is born. You're talking about a baby that's not born.
Listen, we
has a right. A woman. It's up to a woman whether a child is being born. No, it's both up to you and that woman.
No,
she can't.
Listen, we know.
If she
We
don't have a
know
job, she can't
hot
get a
sauce.
paycheck.
We know hot sauce is a crackhead, but he can still go find somebody to have his baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, but whoever that is, they still got to agree to it. On what she got to
Exactly.
get
And they
pregnant,
and
and
they
she
yeah.
still got to let the baby come to term.
Yeah, we
And
definitely
And
and
the
she
man
knows that
can't
and she
do.
knows that hot sauce a crackhead.
And the man can't make no decision about that baby coming to term. He can want to. He can try to influence her, but at the end of the day, until she say that baby can come to term, it ain't coming. So at the end of the day, again, he's trying to argue a positive versus a negative, which are not equals. And I still love them, but they ain't equals. This is not an equal thing. You cannot want to have a baby and not give your sperm out. That's a very real thing. But if you want one, you can't make a woman happy. Also a very real thing. And that's what I said, which automatically makes it your mama's fault who your daddy is, because your daddy don't get to decide. You can't be at fault for something you have no decision-making ability on. I can claim it's my fault that Donald Trump rich. Donald don't know me, though. I have nothing to do with his lifestyle. It ain't my fault. I can claim it all day long, but you can't put it together in truth.
Damn, how the orange man get in this shit, Roger? You going on?
I don't even know. I don't even know what Roger's
mode.
talking about now.
But
Roger
the
ain't making
thing
no
is,
sense.
you do need to know what I'm talking about, because at the end of the day, this is why Black people have trouble, because we don't want to get into true understanding, and we want to protect these women, which I understand is an honorable thing. But there's some things you can't protect. You can't protect a person from their own blame. You can't protect it. Well, you can try to protect a person, but at the end of the day, I can only truly blame somebody while being correct. I can only blame somebody for something they literally got the power to do. I can't blame you for stuff you don't have the power for.
All right, so hold on. Let me nigga whisper for y'all real quick. All hot sauce was saying is you can't make a cake if somebody don't give you the ingredients.
No,
all right, we got Jado on the panel right now. Jado, get your 2 minutes.
Let's get Jado in here, please. Let's get Jado in, Roger.
Well, no,
Brother
I'm going to
Christ,
say
man.
this. What he was
Let's
doing
get Jado
was
in.
trying to take something that was presented and try to turn it into something else. I said it is your mama's fault who your father is, because only your mother can make a decision to carry that child to term. Period. So it's automatically going to be her fault, because she's the only person with the power to decide that baby comes to term.
Okay, Roger. We know this is the Roger Report Live, but we sick of talking to you about this. Jado, come on in here and tell us what you want to tell us.
Roger, he right.
Go ahead. Hey, this is a fundamental thing on the show about father. That's a fundamental point.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Jado.
Go ahead, Jado.
What's up, fellas?
What up, Jay?
What up, man? Hey, I just I'm not going to say too much, man. I just want to shout out to the fathers, man. Happy belated Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I know quite a few, especially the Black fathers, man, that are amazing, that are doing a great job, that are doing their thing, man, and truly having a huge and big influence over their children. Hey fellas, we can't keep getting caught up in these technicalities, man. You guys are making two different points, man. So we need to stop using so much energy on that stuff, man. But I realized, man, I was I'm divorced, man. I realized I was teaching my eldest daughter something. Well, actually, I'll say I was teaching her how to drive. This was when she was still a teenager. And she was making some mistakes. And I'm a pretty stern, pretty strict and stern father. I said something to her, and she got upset when we arrived back to her home or whatever. And her mother consoled her, and she tried to tell me that I was being too hard on my daughter. And at that point, man, I understood that there was some type of her mother had access to her on a level that I didn't have. I recognized it at that point, and I don't even try to get that. So I guess what I'm saying is, I don't I don't I don't want my children to really. I don't want any celebration or overly. I don't want any. I don't want credit. I just want my children to be well and live a good life. You know what I'm saying? I think that most dads kind of feel that way, and all that extra stuff is for the mothers. That's their lane, so to speak. Anyway, I'll end right there. I don't want to ramble on. Thanks for having me up, Ross.
Good. That was a good.
Glad you can be here, brother. Glad you can be here.
Oh,
And
so
we
um,
we skip
so
we
all of a sudden, all you niggas are good fathers now. Where
hold
are the
fast,
actual
hold
fathers?
fast, hold fast, hold fast. We skip usual business, y'all. We skip usual. So I gotta
Oh
let
no,
you.
Get
we
him
ain't
in
skip.
there.
Yeah,
We
we
ain't
did.
skip
He
that
got in
nigga.
before J Lo. He got in before J
We
Lo.
ain't skip him. We excluded it. It's a difference. It's
That's
different. We
impossible.
excluded it.
Boy, you talk about
Everybody, I understand.
No, we can't.
You gotta hide the best, bro. You gotta hide the best out here. I understand. Hold on. I'm throwing these beers. I'm throwing these beers. Give me a second. Hold on. Give me a second. All right. Now, when it comes to, I think with somebody
if you want to hold
something
off,
like that.
we can get champion real quick and come back to you.
Yes, I gotta drop this thing off real quick. So give me about half a second.
All right, well, Champ, go ahead and do your thing, and then we'll come back to him when he's ready.
Well, happy belated Father's Day to all the black fathers who are on this panel and everything else. And I just want to say this. The importance of having a father is that you need him for guidance, love, and somebody can correct you whenever you're wrong and everything else. Now, some fathers can be as strict as I don't know what, like a Joe Jackson, but then you have loving fathers such as Jalen Brunson's father and everything. And shout out to him for being a coach and mentor and him and helping him win that NBA title for the New York Knicks.
Yep. Shout out to him.
Shout out to him. Shout out to Deion Sanders for being a father figure for some of the brothers who don't have fathers, present and everything else. While he was coaching at Jackson State University and University of Colorado, being a real two sons, Shiloh and Shador Sanders, who I'm hoping does well this upcoming NFL seasons. Hey, Rogers, a very good subject you got going, so I'm gonna land my plane right there.
I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. All right, y'all. Now, the rest of us can go free until usual business clock back in. And usual,
I
if you can
want
hear us, you just jump in when you're ready.
to disagree with Jado. I want to disagree with Jado.
Well, hold on. The reality is, I'm gonna simply say, I'm glad I think this I throw my weight behind what Roger determines the family, bro. She chooses the male that she necessarily gets to be with. That has always been the thing of time. And the baby is always held to term by quote unquote women. And the determining factor is to say you can always tell that because how women get threatened by an artificial wound. You say, okay, you're gonna bring up artificial wounds. Women get extremely upset about this because you're threatening their position and their position of power. And women understand one thing more than anything. They understand power. So I'm gonna let that be in. So Roger was right. Goddamn it, it is what it is.
Thank you, usual.
Did he,
That was well
did
said,
he
sir.
say?
Well
Did
said.
he say Roger? Did he say Roger was right? I hope before he lived hit him.
It's all good. It's all good. You good to go. I was even about to do long tapping.
Hey, boy, they
Roger,
loading up
you
my
need to
truck right
mute
now. Don't be
up.
saying that shit. Hey, I'm loading up the truck right now. Don't be saying that, bro. Don't want this shit coming through the goddamn cab hitting me.
Final destination types.
I want to disagree with Jado. Jado talking about this stay lane for us to get him all these extra gifts and all that. Nah, I disagree with that 100%, bro. I think we are not in our proper place, bro. Without our fathers, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here. Without the seed of our fathers, we wouldn't be here in the first place. Without our fathers working and upholding this infrastructure and creating this country as great as it is and making it as great as it is, we wouldn't be here. Because most of the jobs that women do simply are just not that important to when it comes to upholding the infrastructure and providing the amenities and the type of life that we're able to live out here. All this is upheld by men, bro. And it's time that we get our just due. Nigga, I'm trying to help y'all
Yeah.
get that down payment for that F-150. I'm trying to help y'all get that down payment for that Dodge Ram. And this nigga come up here talking about, nah, we should just get it to the women. Man, get your ass out of here today.
Hold on,
Get out of here today.
don't be
Walmart has
adding,
150, goddamn it. Walmart has
don't be
150. Fuck that
adding,
shit.
don't be adding nothing to my to what I said. Don't be
No.
adding.
I'm adding,
I ain't saying
I'm
getting on
adding,
my.
oh, I'm adding all kind of stuff to what you said because you came up here in the wrong spirit. I'm gonna lie to you and lie on you today. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm
Okay,
doing.
well, let me get in and say this. Let me say this, y'all. Look. I understand a lot of men don't want a lot of big hoopla because as men we don't think it's that big a deal. We just don't see it that way. I'm gonna put it like that. We just don't see it that way. I'm not asking y'all to take control of Father's Day for yourself. I'm asking you to take control of Father's Day to better black folks. It's something that's necessary. As men, we do the necessary things, don't we? Well, obviously, we're at you can see in it's 2026 now. It's necessary that we take control of Father's Day. All the people who celebrate holidays. Now, if you don't celebrate no holidays, I ain't talking to you. But if you celebrate Christmas, if you celebrate birthdays, if you celebrate all kinds of holidays that the calendar say we supposed to celebrate this thing on this day, then I am talking to you. It is necessary for you. If you celebrate Mother's Day, you need to celebrate Father's Day so you can help put the black community where it needs to be. Everything ain't about you as an individual, especially when it comes to community.
Well, let me throw a monkey wrench in your project. How do you think you deserve to control anything when you only pay $70 in child support?
Wait a minute. Say that one more time. Say it one more time.
Why would you be in control of anything when you only pay $70 in child support?
If you pay $70 in child support, basically what you're telling me is some woman asks for a third party to get involved in what he's doing. If she only gets $70, that's her fault. Shouldn't have brought no third party into it.
Hey, those $70 can go toward that truck payment.
Okay. And I was about to read this. Chef Mike is saying something very interesting. I'm gonna say what he's saying is interesting. Okay. And he did ask me to read it. I was gonna read it anyway because I saw it, but he did ask me to read it. He said it's interesting to hear men with no children talk about fatherhood. It's no different than women trying to tell men how to be men. And I'm gonna disagree with you, Chef. I'm gonna disagree with you. I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna disagree with you. Because I got a father. And my father's worthy of being celebrated. Okay? My father should be viewed with the utmost respect amongst his peers and people that are not his peers. See, my daddy's a father, so it still make a difference to me what's going to happen with Father's Day. How can we diss a day where my dad should be celebrated? That ain't going to rock with me.
Roger, you doing the same thing that you claim Hot Sauce was doing.
What?
No one said nothing about a diss. You added a diss to it, bro. No one said that. You're selling. Right. No, I know you didn't directly say that, Roger. But I'm saying, look, you are celebrating Father's Day right now, Roger. You're celebrating it. You know why? You're a functional, productive, and what's the other one?
Respectable
Black men every day. So you're celebrating it every day. The fruits of your father's labor is shown every day. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to say we shouldn't celebrate or no, give all the praise to the mothers or all this stuff. But I'm just saying we're celebrating it every day.
That's what it sounds like to me.
I get you there. I got to get to Chef Mike because now he is dissing me. How about this, brother? He is dissing me. Okay. Shout out to Chef Mike, though. He say, that don't make you a member of the club. You know what, Chef Mike? I do respect that, my brother. I do respect that. So if black fathers have something that's really an issue against what I'm saying, then I'm going to take what y'all say in consideration because technically I'm not a member. I'm just a person that supports your group. And I'm allowed to do that.
Wait a minute now. Chef Mike, we trying to get you a down payment on that boat that you want. You know what I'm saying? You can't be working against your down payment for your boat. I know you want that boat, bro. You talk about what you want on this boat and how you gonna be cooking on it and all that. Help Roger help you
Hey,
get this boat.
hey,
Chef don't want that
I,
boat.
and I guess maybe it sounds like I'm not advocating for the fathers. Like, so I'll say I'm going to get real particular and specific. My middle daughter, she gave me a. She's on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast. She gave me a late a late Father's Day, Happy Father's Day text, just a text. And a little, I had a little twinge in a little bit, a tiny bit, but I recognize that. But whenever I'm around her and Daddy, I'm gonna make you a sandwich, or Daddy, I'm gonna do this, or you know what I'm saying? Let me do this for you. I don't know. That's the celebration I need right there, man. I feel like I'm being honored right there. That's just me.
I can appreciate that, but we accepting too little, man. We should be
But
we
but
should be the most celebrated
but
throughout the
but
year, man, because we do it all.
it don't work that way though, brother. We're men. It's never gonna be on the level of Mother's Day. It don't work that way. It's not nature, fellas. We're not going to
No, I
tap
don't know about
into
that.
that.
Nah, I
We
disagree
No,
on
just
I,
that, bro. I disagree with that because we don't make it
no,
that way. We don't make it
it
that way,
does,
bro.
no, it's not. It's never
no,
going
he
to
has
be
a
that
point.
way.
Yeah, he has a point.
This
The
is
women push the
nature,
baby out
fellas.
because the women push the baby
It's
out.
a
They're gonna
different
get more
level.
reverence. Yeah,
And
yeah, they're
guess
gonna get
what?
more reverence for that.
And if it did, guess what? And if it did miraculously turn into that as big as the brothers are going to push it away anyway. We're not built that way, fellas. You're
I'm
gonna
gonna
say,
say,
go sit out, go on somewhere about yourself and do what you do. Thank you. I appreciate it. Now go on about yourself.
let me say this real quick. Shout out to Chef Mike. I don't know who sat he on, but he said the boat is already in the water. I don't know who
Chef
sat
Mike
you
said,
on, Chef
Chef,
Mike.
Chef Mike said, I got mine.
Hey, you better go get yours. All right, Chef Mike. All right, brother. I hear you, brother. I hear you. I'm gonna say I do agree with Jado that a lot of fathers would tell people to just settle down and it ain't got to be that serious at the end of the day. And I am not saying it needs to be as big as Mother's Day. Now I know the Great Black Reset, or excuse me, Bane of Hot Sauce said, we got to make it the biggest thing ever. I mean, I don't know if we'll ever get it to that point. I do believe it is necessary at this point, though. It should be a big deal. I ain't saying it's got to be the biggest deal, but it is better for Black people that it is a big deal. Kids need to feel salty that other people celebrating their fathers and they not. That needs to happen. Okay? We need to have it where there's an expectation to be a part of a family when you grow up. That needs to happen. It's not now I get it, y'all. As a man, you don't take all that. But when you start thinking community, you got to think beyond just your immediate needs. Are you willing to make your family celebrate you for the betterment of us? That's the fundamental question. Are you willing to
Um,
make your kids celebrate you for the benefit of other people?
When Jado felt that twinge in the corner of his eye, that was his soul saying fathers need reparations. That's what he
I
always
agree.
say.
That's right. That's right. Hmm.
We trying to get our reparations, fellas. That's what we trying to do. Fathers need reparations. We don't, it's so much has been stolen from us in the form of Mother's Day and Christmas and all these other holidays. And then when they come around to us, we get a pair of socks. They owe us
Yeah.
reparations, man, and I don't think it's a problem us trying to get what we deserve.
Now I'm,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna throw this out there real quick. I'm gonna throw this out there real quick, and then it's going to you for sure. No placeholder. Look, y'all. Every year I go buy some new drawers and some new socks because I'm a year older. Drawers gonna wear out. Socks gonna wear out. Okay. I buy myself new drawers and new socks every year. There is literally nothing celebratory about it. I'm just saying, there's nothing celebratory about it. I do it every year, and I buy a pair of new shoes too every year. I make sure I get those three things every single year. I go out and buy those things because stuff wear out. And as men, we don't think about stuff the way other people think about it or whatever, unless you like really into fashion and stuff like that. Now, I try to make everything I get cool, but I'm not like a fashion dude. I'm always trying to get the latest, hottest thing. But I try to make sure my stuff's straight. And I just do that as a single man. And if all you getting on Father's Day is something I do to make sure I have proper maintenance as a single man, I'm going to say it ain't really adding up to what it's supposed to be. I'm not saying you got to feel some type of way about yourself. I am saying as a member of Black men who are productive, respectable, functional, who believe in Black men's leadership, we need to celebrate a day that celebrates the leaders. That's all I'm saying. If you're going
I
to
agree,
celebrate
Roger.
any of the other holidays, we got to celebrate this. But go ahead. What
And
you
the
going to say?
reason why, the reason why I say I agree with you, Roger, is because and I understand what Jado was saying overall, because the stoicism that was the men of the past, like our cup in that time as men, our cup was filled with respect, loyalty, honor, and saying and commitment. So that's why the socks and the tie was basically okay. You get what I'm saying, Jado? Was like because we had those other things, it was like, nah, don't worry about it. I'm saying focus on your mother. But now I'm kind of agree with Roger and GBR. I'm saying we don't get respect anymore. We don't get loyalty. We don't get commitment. We don't get honor. I'm saying so we might have to fight for this one holiday to basically let I'm saying to like get some of that back. I'm saying that's basically what I'm saying. But
Man, I
no,
agree
go
with
ahead.
you.
Go ahead, man.
Well, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just want to say, man, I buy socks and drawers and shoes every year because to me, that's things we don't think about on a regular basis. So I make an effort to make sure every year I go get some new socks, some new drawers, and some new shoes. So I ain't never met. I used to get that speech. I'm sure a lot of y'all got it too. If you died in a car accident or whatever, you don't want to be, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to be getting picked up off the street and you got dirty drawers on and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I assume somebody mama told him stuff like that too. So I remember all this stuff. And I understand you got this whole thing and these jokes about men with holy draws and all this type of stuff. Because men ain't thinking about going to get this stuff unless you like one of those guys that's like really into fashion. Y'all are being celebrated by stuff I'm doing to not quote unquote be embarrassed. You getting socks on Father's Day. I'm buying new socks so I ain't caught up in a situation where they got to take my shoes off and I got holes in them. That ain't how you celebrate somebody. That's all
Can
I'm
I say
saying. That
something
is
real
not
quick?
how you celebrate somebody.
I just want to say something real quick before I get in this check. All right, the thing when you celebrate something, that's you showing grace and honor to said thing or said person because they did something extraordinary, right? Getting a child, raising that child for about either 15, 20 years or whatever be sacrificing your body and yourself is an extraordinary thing, and you celebrate just like the birth of a child is an extraordinary thing. And the problem is, y'all don't believe that what you do is actually extraordinary, so you look upon it and as it is nothing. That's probably the worst thing I think I've ever seen is actually the men upon this panel actually saying that their own works and great deeds are nothing. But that's all I'm gotta say. And I'm gonna go ahead and push this truck, bro. See y'all.
Usual. Well, hey, usual. Who are you speaking to? Who are you
Yeah, he
talking
coming
about?
for your neck, brother. He coming for
I'm
your
not just
neck
saying,
right
well, brothers, well, we can address each other, man. Y'all talking about a specific person,
To
just
every
say it. It's no
to
big
I'm
deal.
saying to any to the people that
So
believe that quote unquote Father Day should not be so to me, this the Father Day should be on the goddamn line of Christmas, bro. Because
So,
that's the only visual man who's gonna go take a
hey,
bullet for you. So that's why I just look at it funny to put
hey,
people on the panel.
hey,
I have a question for you, usual. I have a question for you. How many kids you got, nigga?
Oh Lord.
The same as many as you got.
Okay, cool then. So I don't know what you're talking about. It should be on as good as Christmas because I can't celebrate that shit. So I don't want it to be as good as Christmas. Shit. Let's celebrate whole day.
Well, I don't know where it should fall in line. I do know it should be important because and I wish I'd have put that link in there. Ali Sadiq was making a point of Christmas is the most celebrated holiday in the world. and then Mother's Day is the second most. So he was like, so you celebrate Jesus first, and then second is your mama. And he said that Father's Day was like number 20.
No.
That's way too low.
It's definitely Christmas number 1, strip club on New Year's Eve number 2, school number 2. So, I don't know about y'all. I would actually celebrate some hoes over some niggas. So.
Hey, fellas, I don't know if I came up here and I'm dissing or I'm saying something bad against Father's Day. I don't think I came up here with that. I mean, maybe I'll have to rewind and listen to the show back again, and maybe I said something I didn't realize I said. But I'm just saying, like the whole thing is, fellas, we're not built that way. To be honest with you, man, and I'm just saying the children. I'm saying children. Their mothers have a key, a certain access to a certain emotional level that most of us dads we don't and will never have access to. So it's not gonna ever be celebrated in that like that. It's just not there. I know you. I know we. Yeah, go ahead.
Now I'm gonna say I don't think we need to do anything for that reason. I think Father's Day should be a big deal because fathers are a big deal. The results say fathers are a big deal. So we need to make sure people have a clear understanding that being a father is a big deal. It ain't got to be the biggest holiday, but it should be an important holiday. And at the end of the day, a lot of fathers is getting stuff that I maintain. So in case I'm in a car accident and people got to take my clothes off, I ain't got holy draw. That's how we celebrate men.
Hey, I ain't even getting no drawers. I ain't getting no socks. I ain't get a tie. I ain't getting nothing.
Jado, I have a question for you.
Am I happy with that? No.
Jado, let me ask you a question, brother.
Yes, sir.
So, do you think our children are where they need to be educationally?
No.
Do you think children's outcome is representative of how well they're being parented?
Absolutely.
And do you think that even if a father doesn't have full custody, he is still responsible for that child to at least be able to read?
On some level, yes. Yes.
And are you a father, sir?
And that means on some level,
I
no.
am.
Okay, thank you, sir. That's all. Thank you. The court rests.
Yeah. He said on some level, yes, which means automatically on some level, no. You can't. A coin gonna have two sides, brother.
The prosecution rests.
Jado today has come in as a double spy. He is working for both sides today. I don't know what's going on. Jado is usually on point, but he is allowing himself to get walked down the wrong path today. I don't know what's going on with Jado today, man.
He didn't walk down the wrong path. He literally said the truth on some level, which means it's not on him. Because if Jado understands.
Well, hold on, Roger. You can't do that. You be spinning, bro. You be mixing, bro.
Let me say it first. If you disagree, let me say it. Then disagree. The thing is, you said on some level, which means you understand a parent, especially when it doesn't have full custody, only have so much control, and the children only gonna answer that parent so much.
Okay, Jado, let me ask you this, sir. Let me ask you this. Does the non-custodial parent bear some responsibility for a child that cannot read?
Yes.
Is it 30% or more?
We're getting real technical now. I don't know. Possibly.
Yeah, that's going to depend on how much control the person has.
All right, well, I mean, it's okay. I just want to make it known.
You're being a good lawyer over here. I see.
No, I'm just saying.
Let me rephrase my question.
It is diabolical to say. It is diabolical to say that a father, even when he's not there, should not take interest in their children to read. But
nobody said that. You're trying to frame something that wasn't said. No, what I said was whether a child can read or not, it's the custodial parent's fault. That's what I see, which is a very true thing because that's what that child answers to.
Roger, if you, cause like I had said, I had fixed it up for you, Hot Sauce, and I said, if you know your child, it is your responsibility for them to know how to read. And Roger's like, well, have they have both of them have possession of the child, then it's both of their goddamn
See,
responsibility. Now, if you
the
never met
problem
your
is
child, it ain't your fault.
the problem is you don't know how much time individuals have with their particular kid and how much control that they can do with their particular kid, what their dynamic is with their particular kid, because women can use all kinds of things to shut fathers down. So at the end of the day, what I do know, if you're the custodial parent, I don't have to consider the other person. If you're the custodial parent, the child answers to you. There's no confusion. It's literally your fault.
The point is that
the point is we're trying to make some guy responsible for something, and we don't really understand his dynamic.
It's his child. It's his fucking child by blood.
His child does not mean he has any access to his child.
It's your child by blood, bro. You gotta.
There are men who have zero access to their children.
Like, I don't know. There's a Say show there, right? There's a guy, I forgot his name. I'm not really in basketball like that, right? He's had a complaint that like his mom stole him from his father, right? And he was looking for his father for about 5 or 10 years, and said he finally found his father. His father had passed, right? It is regardless. Hold on, come on, let me finish, bro. The thing is, at the end of the day, no matter how, and his dad was actually looking for him for years and years. It's a big old on the podcast. It's one of the top clips, right? No matter how good of a father he was, he could not have permanent access to his child because he wasn't the primary. Come on. Let me finish, bro. You cannot. Come on, bro. Bro. I didn't interrupt you, bro. I did. Let me finish, bro.
Well, usually we established already.
That's what I'm saying. You cannot blame somebody for not having access to the outcome of the child. You can't do that.
That's a whole another. That's a whole another situation, though.
If your child is kidnapped and their child can't read, it's your fault. Nobody said that. This is the problem with black
we can't make arguments based on. We can't make up whole new scenarios.
No. What we're trying to do. And I'm gonna say mainly our great Ivy League brother. What he's trying to do is have me look for something when I already have something in front of me that told me what the story is. I got a custodial parent and a child can't read. I don't need to look any further for where the fault is. He wants me to look at something else. I don't need to know nothing about what their situation is. If she the custodial parent, I already know it's her fault. He want me to look at something else because he don't want me to look at her and acknowledge how it is her fault.
You see. Let's pause right here. You see how interesting it is? Because I never even said fault. I just said fix the fucking problem. Whether it's her fault, my fault, whatever. Just make sure they can read.
It is a big difference between laying the blame or the fault or whatever and the results, the actual consequences. It is a big difference. It's two different things.
Exactly. It's her fault regardless. She's a custodial parent.
And the kids still can't read, right?
Exactly. And that's why I said earlier, if we want kids to read, just give them to their daddies. We good.
What I'm saying to you gentlemen today is whether it's her fault or not, I don't care. I'm going to fix it.
The best way to fix it is just give the kids to their dad. We don't have no thing about fathers sitting in houses where their kids can't read and he just cool with it. That's not a thing.
We don't know that.
No. You don't know it by data, but you do know that you don't have a bunch of fathers out. No. Anything that's known is known. The stats didn't tell me that a black woman was a single mother. My vision told me that. But the stats just confirmed something I already knew.
Roger, these new niggas ain't furious.
Yeah, just less than 1% of men, 1% of black men that have full custody of their kids. It's less than 1%.
It doesn't make a difference who has the amount of people that have the full custody. The issue is the fact that when the guy has custody, his kid can read. So we have a solution. I don't need every person to be involved with that particular solution to understand the solution.
Roger, that's an assumption. You don't have no data. You don't have no
Yeah,
stats on
exactly.
that.
I understand that.
You just throwing that in the air.
Just like I said, I had already assumed that black women like being single mothers well before statistics
No,
were
because
presented to me about it, because I can
shows,
see it.
the data shows that black kids are performing from 2-parent homes, right? You know that, right? You know that the data shows that even in 2-parent homes, black children are failing, even in 2-parent homes.
Roger, you got to forget these brothers. They've been beat down by single motherhood so long and so hard. They don't believe in themselves anymore. They don't believe in themselves anymore. Even J-Lo. Hold on. Even J-Lo, one of the greatest fathers we know out there, don't believe he deserves anything. You understand what I'm saying?
I wanted my steak dinner, bro, but I didn't get it.
Here's the thing. You want it. I know I deserve it. It's a difference, bro. We're trying to get you to knowing that you deserve it. Because if you know you deserve it, you're going to teach your children to know that you deserve it. That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about teaching our children to honor, revere, and to celebrate their fathers going forward. Not where we're at today, where we should be, and how do we get there. That's what we should be talking about, but we up here talking about niggas don't deserve it. That's what we're talking about. We didn't even talk about the right thing.
No, look. I believe you deserve it. You deserve it. If you're a father, you deserve it. I was just arguing with Roger with his thoughts on black men are the best fathers in America, and I'm like, bro, no.
Brother, if you don't believe what the white man heard from you and you found out about it, that's on you. They did this whole
Hey, fellas, I expressed my thoughts about that study a while back on the show you did a while back on your previous channel, right?
I remember.
And, all that study says is we do chores better.
Thank you. Y'all niggas listen to
related to the children. That's all this is.
And I'm gonna say this,
Jado, your black children aren't doing better than Chinese children in America.
Facts.
Black children are not doing
That's
better
obvious,
than children in America.
And
white.
Either.
Or
white.
So what great parenting are y'all doing?
Right. They don't have black mothers. Shout out to them people for not having that.
Oh, here we go. You know what?
Hey, look, Sean.
Oh man.
Wait, listen. I'm gonna tell you.
I cannot not tell the truth just because it gets uncomfortable sometimes.
Hey, see,
Roger the mix master, bro.
Shark just proved me right. Shark say, you niggas ain't shit as fathers. You don't get no credit. That's what he said.
No, I'm saying stop believing. I'm saying stop letting the white man knock your shield down and telling you you're doing something that we know we're not doing, so we don't. He
hold on.
He will tell you that you're nice, but you stop practicing, and your ass get to a championship and get knocked out because the white man
there's no placeholder here. There's no placeholder here.
Nah, he took a break real quick. He rolling.
Oh, because believe it or not, he told me because I was the smartest among niggas. That shit don't count because there's no questions around.
You know.
Look, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, y'all, because we're getting close. We're getting close to the end of the show. We about to hit that 3-hour mark. Now I'm gonna say this. And as soon as I get done, I gotta let Tony run in because he done slid up here too. So this is the thing, y'all. Where are the lessons taught? Are they taught more with your daddy at work, or are they taught more when you're actually involved in chores with your father? Because as a person who grew up with his daddy, I learned a lot by painting the house. I learned a lot by digging out a sewer. You don't talk about just the work that you're doing at that particular time when you're doing these things. I learned a lot putting up the drywall. You see what I'm saying? I learned a lot. Rearranging the room with whatever they wanted to change it to. I learned a lot moving furniture. There's a lot talked about in the act of doing a chore with your dad. A lot of life lessons are expressed when you're doing chores with your dad. When you out there learning how to cut grass, you learn a whole lot. Dad is literally teaching you stuff about life while you're doing these things. So all this stuff about the black man is involved, but that don't necessarily mean no, that's not a real thing. When you're involved, that's especially when you're gonna be teaching your child life lessons.
Hey, Roger, the proof is in the pudding, man. The results, the consequences. And that's it, brother. The proof is
I
in
would
it.
agree with that.
We talking about reading levels, and I mean, yeah, bro. The proof is in the pudding.
And I agree with that. And that's why every black father who talk about how their kids can read and their kids grew up with them, that I never heard a problem. I ain't never heard a problem. I just it ain't came up yet, man. I don't know no black father who kids lived with him and they couldn't read. Even the fathers that are on this path. Which one of y'all had kids that couldn't read and they lived with y'all? Which one of y'all had that problem? Because Black Rule didn't have that problem. You know, let's keep it real. Okay. You know, who had that problem?
Well, Black Uru kids
That's
is grown as hell, and like I said,
But they had to read and they was kids at some point.
No, but I refined it to they not reading on a grade level. They might be able, like Reset said, they could read some text messages, but they can't read on grade level.
KFC kids can read.
First of all, you think a nigga gonna get up here and say their kids can't read?
No, what I'm gonna say first of all is you wouldn't be up here if your kids couldn't read.
Oh, this is small, very tiny sample size, though. Very tiny sample size, though.
Hold on. We checkmate. Kevin C, I believe his kids don't live with him, right?
They did live with him when they was growing up.
I don't know.
He didn't talk about getting his kids tutors and everything. He said he used to tutor them and stuff, and then he got them tutors.
We gotta ask whether was he the custodial parent? Because if he wasn't, brother, that's a check on my side.
No, bro. No, it ain't, brother. What I'm telling you is
no, it ain't.
No, it's not. I'm telling you, it's not. What I'm saying is because that man had access to his child, he made sure his children could read. He said that several times on panels.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's what we said, Roger.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
No. That's not what y'all are saying. What y'all were saying is, at the end of the day, it doesn't make a difference how much access a man has to his children or not. There was no, it was because there was no distinction made. You think just because he happened to know the kid exists, automatically the kid.
I said no. This is what I said.
No.
You adding to it, Roger.
No, I'm not, because I say everybody has their own individual dynamic.
Roger,
and we're avoiding the fact that if the mother is there, which I don't have to go looking for other things, the mother is there with custody. If the kid can't read, it's automatically her fault.
And what we were saying is, if it don't matter if you see your child once a month, it's your fault he can't read. He or she can't read too.
And what you're saying is, I gotta figure out something about some dad and how much access he truly had, so I can avoid just blaming the mother.
Kevin C found a way.
It doesn't make a difference who finds a way. What you're saying is, I have to look at some guy and try to figure out what his dynamic is before I just blame the mother, and it's clearly her fault.
No, we just gave you some scenarios.
This is where your problem is. This is where your problem is. You keep talking about blaming, where we're just talking about performing and letting our kids.
When you figure out the blame, you can figure out the solution.
Hey, but Roger, once you establish blame, right? Let's say it's 100% that mother's fault. Then what?
Then you do a solution. Get them away from the mother.
All right.
But that's not happening.
If we recognize that's the problem, it will happen. It's hard to fix a problem that we don't want to recognize.
Nah, brother, it don't work that way, man.
You gave it right back to it. Because, all right, you see the problem. Now what you supposed to do? Get the kid.
The problem, they can't read. That's the problem.
The reason they can't read is because they with their mom.
Doesn't matter. The problem is they
No.
cannot read.
If I want to solve them being able to read, I need to remove the situations keeping them from being able to read.
So you can't do that just by saying it's the blame of the mother.
No.
You have no legal, you have no legal way of doing that.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying to fix a problem, you got to first recognize what the problem is. If you with a parent, you live with a parent, and you cannot read, as a father, I got to recognize the reason my child can't read is because they live with their mom. The mama does not require them to do well in school. I have to recognize that as a father, so I can do something about
it. We're trying to take a step beyond blame. We're trying to take a step to we need to fix it. And what I'm saying to you is this: Black fathers cannot be the best fathers when Black kids are underperforming amongst all other races. That's an oxymoron.
My child has to perform at my standard. If I cannot recognize that the reason my child is not performing at my standard because they live with his mom, then I'm a bad father. I gotta recognize the truth regardless of whose feelings get hurt.
Your child has to perform at the standard of the school.
No. My child got to perform at my standard.
Let me finish. Your child has to perform at the standard of the school and the standard of society, because one day your child is not going to be living with you, and they have to perform and compete in society.
And again, my child has to perform in my standard, which is going to do what? That means whatever society say, it's going to have to do better than that. Because this society is not designed for my child to win.
Roger, you have less than a 10% chance to get married to a woman and to have a baby with her and be able to raise that baby to 22 years old. You have less than a 10% chance because of the divorces, because of women not marrying the men that they had the baby with. It's less than a 10% chance for you to even raise that kid completely and have control. And if you're a strong man in a house, and that woman will submit to you. So the odds are, the laws, the women are against you. They would do a lot. They do all kinds of things. They have men in jail trying to raise their kids because these women don't want these men to raise their kids. These women want the man's seed, and they want to do what they want to do, and that's what's messing up the whole situation. So it's to raise a child to get married and with one woman and raise that child to the age of 22 is so difficult in the United States of America.
Now hold on. We are past the 3-hour mark. I'm letting Tunnel Runner have the last word on it. And all I'm gonna say, y'all, it's been a great discussion. When you think about the title of the show, you fill it in. Happy Father's Day, you son of a what? Is it a son of a B or is it a son of a father? And I'm gonna say this, y'all. Shout out to Tunnel Runner for being right. So y'all understand, if y'all ever see me get married, start praying for her immediately. She gonna need She needs some help. Because the percentage say she needs some help. Y'all see, if I tell y'all I got married, pray for my wife. Real talk. Y'all pray for my wife. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day. We'll be back tomorrow. If you're new, make sure you subscribe if you like this type of content. We do this at 9 a.m. Chicago time, not where you happen to be. Long live the habitual line steppers. I'm Roger. I'm right. And I'm out.
Y'all niggas better start sharing content.